He doesn't have Discord on computer. I'm using the browser.
Oh. God damn it.
I heard my name, sorry?
This is not the cousin to the Rainbow Road.
Oh.
Now.
God damn it.
So forth do we begin.
Okay.
So, you guys have had a few days to kind of lay low and relax. But before you did that, someone was going to wake up. Who had been spending time just in the vault, like, constantly?
Sideline.
We never did handle what was going on with the gnome.
I wrote up a note on him so we can just leave that. He's not really going anywhere.
Well, as I said, this is technically happening before the gnome, so, you know. Well, probably.
No, it quite distinctly isn't.
The gnome would have happened in the 2 days of downtime. He would have woken up on the first day of downtime, technically, remember?
Just how things were talked about in the Shards of Eyrie ship talk, I'm pretty sure it should have worked out chronologically. Yeah, whatever.
It's not going to change anything.
I was like, I don't care enough to fight for technicalities.
Okay, so is it Sideline the main one being the vault then?
And Jortes. He'd leave the vault to sleep and eat, but other than that, he'd at least be hanging around it. If not inside.
Because Thorn's been, basically trying to drag you out of the vault at every opportunity.
And you're welcome to, but when Torn leaves, Jortes will be back.
Great, so that means I can't leave the vault.
Yes,
He's
you
gonna
can.
be there. Look, there's nothing wrong with you all being nearby.
Yeah, there is. Being surrounded by too many people is kind of,
I would ask Jortes not to be in the vault.
Okay, why?
Because I don't want to introduce him to too many people at one go. And I've already got 2 dragon eggs, a mechanical griffin, and me.
There is the intercom which we can listen over, right?
As I said, if Jortes isn't in the room sleeping or eating, he'll be outside the room.
Okay, that's fine. You can be outside, that's fine. That means there's an intercom, you can listen to everything going on inside.
That's a good idea, though.
Hell, there's probably a periscope looking inward that you could probably just sit on that side and look inside.
Ignore the
How would you
periscope.
not know? How would you not know? You designed the fucking thing.
The words I used exactly is make it as cockamamie as possible. Sideline. I'm not going to describe every single feature.
So yeah, it's Sideline and his cronies inside. Probably
My
Jortes and
cronies?
various people outside. Yes, your cronies, your eggs and your griffin.
Okay. And Mira.
Mira's inside you.
You're kind of a package deal. Oh my god.
And if anything, I think you would be Mira's crony.
That's true. You go back to the philosophical question of who's the character.
They both are.
It's obviously the duck.
The majestic space duck.
So, as Sideline is tinkering away, reading a story to one of the eggs.
Both of the eggs are in the same room. Just read it aloud.
But as you are kind of reading the story, Sideline, who is not the most perceptive person in the world, it suddenly caught the attention of... Wait, he has spellcasting from right behind him.
Well, I'm hardly going to move.
Tapped spellcasting.
I'm hardly going to move, and I'm just going to go emergency force sphere and continue reading.
Just a description of how
If you create an emergency force sphere, though you don't hear or see out of the corner of your vision any magic go off, you just suddenly hear the voice of well, presumably the Sun King behind you. What the? How is this thing?
Don't ask me. I haven't looked at it. Padlin will then swivel in his chair and look at him.
As you see him currently tugging to try and get the quasi cursed bracelet off. Not going to work, of course.
No.
The rubies and glowing from absorbing the magic a second ago. Kind of glares at you.
Morning. Or evening, as it is.
You won't get away with this.
Get away with what? I'm being
We already
good
have.
father to these eggs. Currently, I'm sitting in a room with... This is like the 12th safest location on the planet.
What was that, Solan?
I'm currently sitting in the 12th safest location on the planet, reading a story to these eggs, and also with my friend over there. He gestures to the giant mechanical griffin.
He looks over to it, gulps slightly, seeing it. Looks back at you. You're letting me out of here now.
Am I? Last time I checked, I don't really remember how to open this thing. Sadly, obviously lying.
Now, scowls at you. You know who I am.
Yes, I do.
If you try to keep me here, you will have one of the largest armies in the world come right out to your doorstep.
I'm familiar. However, I didn't capture you.
He's familiar. He's fought them before.
I've just been told to bring you here.
And now you're going to let me go.
No. I mean, you're welcome to ask questions about what's going on. I'm happy to fill you in. Don't you want to know why you've been captured in the first place? I mean, it's not malicious.
Yes, because kidnapping is something you do on a nice friendly occasion.
Only when circumstances prevail. Trust me, if there was another way, I would have done it.
Sideline roll diplomacy.
Whee!
Oh my god! I'm waiting for that one.
I will do this and this. I'll also cast a spell because now I have ranks in it. And Nanite Surge, I expend my visualization of the mind. Okay. So I give myself 9 ranks, and then I cast Bestow Insight immediately after.
Okay.
Because now I have ranks in
what level is Bestow Insight?
Bestow Insight is second. Yeah.
Wow.
Nope,
So,
not casting magic. I'm mistaken.
he knows it's magic, he just doesn't know what magic it is.
I'd argue otherwise with that.
Oh, Bestow Insight. Just ignore it. It's fine.
Well, when you're ready, give me a roll then.
I'll take the 46.
Wow. Wow. If there was ever a time for Sideline to be competent at talking, and he gets a nat 20.
He did sort of pump himself full of check.
Okay, never mind. I think Sideline has made a deal with the devil. Everything should go fine. This session.
As Sideline's as well as Sideline's magic crystals glows hot in his subject's chest.
And after you're done explaining that, he kind of coughs, and then a bit of smoke comes out of his mouth. And ignore that. Sorry.
Scowls at you deeply. Crosses his arms, clearly very annoyed.
Oh, obviously.
Get talking now.
About?
Why?
Why? Well, I was told by a good friend of yours. I don't know if you're on good terms or anything. I haven't met the guy. I wasn't the one who kidnapped you in the first place, if you want to call it that. Currently we're in a bad position. We're worried that there's some.
Definitely, you're in a bad position.
Well, no, the city. Well, you in particular, and the city. We could just leave. We're in an airship, but currently we believe there's a current drow infiltrator within the court. So, and we would like to make sure that you're safe, and also make sure that false information hasn't been given to you.
There is no infiltration of my court. The drow is my mother's guest.
Guest? What have they been telling you? So I would like us to be on the same page after all.
She is simply an advisor. She helps keep me up to date with everything that's going on in such a large kingdom.
Advisor to lead check of the large kingdom. That's fair. I mean, do you do your own research in that part? Because I know you're a scientist and a man of the arts and stuff like that. Have you ever verified the information?
Yeah. The reports I have are trustworthy.
Trustworthy, yes, but of course, being a man of science, you should always try to double-check things, do all backup research. The entire point of doing studies and stuff like that means it has to be replicated and also found in different locations. And that's what I'm kind of here for, to help you validate your resources and experiments and stuff like that.
I have an entire council for that.
Well, as I said, it's not the best situation that we're all in right now. And I do believe the drow, I've gotten resources and information that the drow are planning something malicious to do with your city, and I don't want that to happen, honestly. Personally, I've been at war with this city for thousands of years, and, well, I'm not at war anymore, but I would hate for it to fall. I mean, sort of deep connection at this point.
I don't care what threat faces this city. It will survive.
Yeah, it's hard for a city to survive a threat when it comes within.
Scowls deeply at you. I get what this is. You're trying. I get.
Sorry, was that? You kind of cut out. Dark, I missed that.
Oh, I get it. I get what you're up to here.
Oh? Please do and tell.
He just turns his head away and crosses his arms now.
You're thinking that I'm trying to manipulate you in some way?
He doesn't reply.
I mean, if that was the case, they wouldn't have sent me. I'm a terrible talker. I don't get organics. They make no sense to me.
No reply.
You can take your time. Not like I'm going anywhere quick. I don't really need to particularly sleep or eat or, well, yeah. Well, I do need to eat, but that's beside the point.
Continues not to respond to you.
Well, if you're willing to talk, I'll continue reading my story. You can talk to me whenever. Silent will go back to reading his story to the eggs, being very casual and doesn't particularly feel threatening at all towards the kid.
Silent's also still an emergency forceman.
Yep. Well, he'll lower that. Actually, that would have dropped by now, so.
It is only rounds per level, after all.
I also like how Sideline's, not following orders and alerting the rest of us when the kid's waking up.
Yes. Oh, so how was your nap, by the way?
You don't get a response.
Sideline will stand up, walk around to his front, sort of tilt his head, like, what are you doing?
He simply turns around, sits facing the other way. But
Sideline will continue walking around him.
turn around again.
Walk around?
I don't
Turns
get
around.
tired or bored. I could literally do this all day.
Yeah, basically what he says.
Sideline will be doing this all day.
Spinny, spinny, spinny.
After a while, Sideline will sit down and say, you know, it's a very rude to stare, not look at your people who you're talking to. I mean, and also, I'm going to bring forth a little bit more information for potentially a theoretical situation. Let's say in theory that you are a captive here, and I am holding you against your will, and, well, okay, I'm not doing that. A few of my colleagues are, but beside the point. You would want to gain as much information as you could about the situation, wouldn't you? I mean, after all, I am providing an endless font of information about what your current situation is, and I'm perfectly willing to work with you and talk with you, and so it would be more in your best interest to figure out everything you could. And I'm also not stopping you from leaving. If you're welcome to try leaving.
He simply does not respond to you.
Would you like to meet some of my other colleagues, or are you just going to not talk to them either?
Doesn't give you any response at all.
Is this what they call? Is this what humans call the silent treatment? I fail to see how it's really effective.
System to get there. Screen, and I can.
And this will continue. Frankly.
All right.
He does not seem to particularly want to talk to you. Or the giant griffin.
I don't know, the griffin's kind of cool.
Well, seeing that Sideline and Sorry are going to go in circles forever.
I have an
Eventually,
idea. I have an idea. I will do one more thing. Before, I'll sit back down. Sort of pull out the foldable table I have with me, and start pulling out some various designs for clockwork and stuff, and start working on a bit of designs occasionally. Being very blatant about it, working on clockwork and stuff. I'll do that for about 15, 20 minutes.
It's not even facing you.
Yeah. It's obvious because it's making clicky noises. And clockwork noises and stuff.
Still doesn't seem to respond, though.
After 15, 20 minutes, Silen's going to say, that's probably long enough. He'll walk over to the intercom and say, to all that it matters to, our visitor is currently awake. So, I don't know.
Within about 30 seconds of you saying that, there's going to be a rather, I would say, a heavy-handed knock on the door, but considering how thick your door is, you probably just hear a light tapping.
Also, Torin may see a turret appear next to him.
Torin just blatantly raises his middle finger to it and says, "Let me in." Me, Torin.
And me.
No,
hi, Tortas.
You stay out for right now. The plan, remember?
Your plan sucks.
Honestly, I don't really particularly care, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to care either, because he's currently
Tortas.
not talking to me. I think he's giving me silent treatment.
Torin,
So I don't know.
Jortas, do us a favor and go get Elliot and see if he's up to this or not.
Torin,
Mm-hmm.
your holy symbol, by the way, right now feels really hot.
Jortes walks over to the intercom, hits the button, asks Elliot if he would like to come down. Stands there looking at Torin.
Smartass.
How dare you use the ship's functions? Vote again.
I did build them for a reason, Sideline says.
I was trying to be rid of him.
I know.
I know, you can pick a better reason then.
Yes, I'm aware. I haven't been awake very long.
If Elliot is going in with you, I will wait for now. I don't guarantee how long I'll wait.
Well, if you guys want to come in, I mean, I did show Thorok how to open the door, and Brennan knows how.
You should really
Sideline,
go to
I
your chest at
give
some
you the
point.
same courtesy I would normally expect from you, although you seem to have difficulty with this. But when I knock on someone's door, I don't just force my way in if I know the person's on the other side. Would you kindly let us in?
You see, the problem with that, Torrent, is I don't want to have him figure out the internal complicated mechanisms for actually opening the door. He is in the room, after all.
Sarah will walk over to intercom, hit it, and say, "Ryan, door, please."
Yay, everybody's coming down.
I thought he could open it remotely.
No?
Can he not?
Sarah's hit the intercom and asked Renan to come and open
No,
the door.
Sideline specifically designed the door to be manually analog.
Oh, God damn it. I know I should have took Dimension Door.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that wouldn't work either, because I've
Yeah.
dimensionally anchored this entire room.
Hang on. Dark, Sarah's hit the intercom and asked Renan to come down and open the door for us.
Please.
Brennan does not come down. However, George has noticed some invisible things now moving around near the door.
Oh, God. I
Unseen
think he picked this up.
servants.
Wait, invisible things near the door? Wouldn't I notice them too?
Do you have the ability to see invisible
I have
creatures?
scent.
You don't have any scent.
Unseen
Brennan has
servants.
sent down unseen servants.
Okay, that works.
And the unseen servants will open up the door very slowly.
Yeah, it's quite worrying that he can do that.
What, magic?
It takes a while.
Well,
the unseen
I mean
servants
more-
aren't really... The unseen servants aren't good at it.
Yeah, I mean more using the unseen servants to open the door.
Oh,
I mean,
if I had
they're-
unseen servants, I'd use them for everything.
I mean, they're kind of like toddlers. You have to be really specific with them, even then
Brennan
have
is
to fuck
surprisingly
up.
skilled with unseen servants. He can generally do more than most unseen servants can, which is...
What the hell? Ren, I have intercom. Ren, stop cheating.
I'll be skilled. Regardless, though, the door mechanisms will be to the point where, basically, it will just be left to press one button.
Sarah stands back.
Alright, Jortes, Sarah, Scoot.
Jotis will stand back, but in such a way
Shoo.
that he can see into the door.
You just love being difficult today.
Yes.
Whatever. Torin
Yes,
goes
I
and
do.
pushes the button.
The door opens with unreasonable speed for such a
Also,
heavy door.
also, a giant puff of steam fires at you.
Yes.
Why is this a function?
Oh, hello.
Good morning.
Sideline's fiddling with gears and clockwork and
Is
stuff.
it the evening?
As soon as Torrent enters, the door immediately probably slams closed. Or, I don't know which function of open Brennan put in. There's like 3
No.
functions of open.
He's left it open for now until someone pulls the lever.
Come on, Elliot.
Currently, the individual is sitting inside, facing away from everyone, adjusting himself slightly.
He thinks we're trying to manipulate his brain. Which I don't know why you would send me to do that.
I mean, you're a worse liar than I am.
Exactly. I mean, statistically speaking, I mean, I'd literally be the worst. The only one I think would be decently good at that would be Sarah. But I don't think she has any motives to do that.
Hi, I'm the one female on the ship right now. He's a very quiet one, isn't he? Anyway,
Oh.
Yeah,
Is-
trying to give it the silent treatment. I don't know.
are you
if-
two the only ones going in? Should I, you know?
Leave it open for right now.
Okay. Don't get dramatically poofed.
Oh, like you don't like the freaking steam pouring out.
No, I wanted to dramatically poof a lever.
It is a nice lever. I kind of built it so it's very satisfying to pull.
I mean, if you want to dramatically pull a lever, you could just pull that one right there. We all know that one doesn't do anything.
It does
Nah.
do a lot. Please don't pull
Anyway, go do
Oh.
your business. We'll
Is
be
it the
out
one
here.
on the other side?
that. No, all the levers do something.
Torin, focus.
You
Not
just don't know
saying-
what they will do.
We're not setting a good impression for His Highness. Your Highness? Their Highness? I don't know. Him.
Sun King Extraordinaire? Sounds like a pretty good profession.
Torn just kind of rolls his eyes and kind of wanders over about a good 10 feet away from the Sun King.
He's facing away from you. Your holy symbol is burning, almost hot enough that you want to just discard it.
It's getting hot in here.
Torin, why is your chest glowing?
You know how the kid's related to the sun? You know how my amulet's related to the sun? There's a lot of sun going on in this room.
Maybe you could place it next to the eggs and keep them warm.
No. You know I don't like to take this thing off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
At any rate, good morning, Your Highness.
Actually, it's evening, but...
Is it?
Yeah. Silent holds up a pocket watch and puts it away.
Oh.
Does not seem to want to talk.
Well, after your extended sleep, Your Highness, I'm sure you're probably famished. I am going to go get something for you. Hopefully, it's to your liking. If there's anything you need, be sure to let someone know.
Intercom button's right there, but you're not looking at me, so this pointing doesn't mean anything. It's the red button right there next to the great thing.
Sideline, what did you say to him?
I didn't say anything. He just decided to give you the silent treatment.
Well, people don't just give other people the silent treatment for no reason. When did
He
you
fell
say?
he fell under the belief that I'm trying to manipulate his mind via lying to him and telling him false information.
So, what exactly did you say to him?
Silent will reiterate basically what he said to the Sun King, and well, you guys were all listening, so I don't need to reiterate.
Taurus is going to glare at Sideline and go, "You have disobeyed literally every single thing I've told you yesterday. Or is it the day before now? Either way, I'm severely disappointed in you, Sideline."
Shrugs.
Oh my good gods. Could you have screwed this up anymore?
Yes, I couldn't. I could have killed him.
Actually, I'm fairly certain that you probably couldn't. You don't really have it in you to kill innocent people.
You're right. I couldn't do that.
Besides, I'm pretty
But
sure
I'm
the
just saying,
clockwork...
the theoretical situation that, you know.
Besides, I'm sure Big Mechanical and Holy here would have had something to say about that. Look at him, he's glaring at you.
Yes.
Speaking of Holy, this thing is really starting to burn.
Yeah,
Too much sunlight for my own good. I don't deal well with sunlight.
Potentially you should go get into that food that you offered.
Yeah, before this thing starts,
Burning your clothes more than they are? I mean, I don't want that. I think they're kind of steaming.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to get branded by my own necklace, at least it's a holy symbol.
Torin, get the secret weapon, Sir winks at you. And by that I mean the chocolate cake.
It's actually not a bad idea.
You know it really won't work either.
Yeah.
Alright,
If he doesn't want it, I'll have it.
Show's all yours.
Silent will continue going back to working with clockwork stuff. My personal opinion, I think it would just be, you know, most organics get bored after a while, so I think it would be best to just let him, you know, mull over the situation he's currently in.
I mean, he kinda did just wake up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why mulling over is a good part of everybody's daily introduction to hostage situations.
Okay. Jortes, you wanna go? Maybe just...
I'm not entirely sure it's a good idea.
Shall I
I think he would
try?
respond. He's still giving the silent treatment.
Yeah, meta-wise, I really don't think he's going to respond until we present him with something that will provoke a reaction.
Okay.
I am considering having Jortis go and dress in the Royal Guard uniform.
Let me just say something to Sir Ryan.
Go for it.
Just go stand like progressively far away from Van Torn, and say,
Torrance
no
is
idea how-
going to the kitchen,
no,
so
Van, you were, because you're standing like 10 feet away, so you're standing a bit further away.
He's still facing away from you. It's kind of hard to
I know.
distance.
I have no idea what to address you, so I'm just gonna go with Your Highness. Your Highness, this is like literally the stupidest situation I've probably ever been in. But know that there's at least a kind of semi-half okay, decent reason for it.
Wow.
Look, I'm trying.
Descriptive, Sarah. I must say.
Silent. Look, Your Highness, I'm sure you notice. Actually, I don't know if you can right now, but this vault, particularly, is boarded to 9 hells. You're here for a very good reason, and looks at Elliot and Jortes, which I can't particularly tell you right now, but be assured that there's someone who really, really wants you to die. Probably.
None of us. Should really reiterate that, Sarah.
Of course, it's none of us. Well, why would we want to keep him here if we just want to kill him? Okay, I'm just going to ignore that happened.
I'd like to try to do spellcraft.
You can't. The magic just fails it, so there's no way to identify it. Probably. It's just absorbed instantly.
Also, I have no idea what that bracelet's about. I didn't put it on you.
Weird magic junk.
Really cool.
I'm trying to think of a way to word this without giving away too much, because the door's kind of wide open right now. A very special someone who's very creepy wants to remove you from the throne, and that might be kind of my fault in a roundabout way, not really. But it's in your best interests that he does not get a hold of you ever, because he wants to do some weird god stuff. Particularly for Nightmare.
Oh, that thing, right.
Yeah, that thing. The thing that I can only tell you because you don't sleep.
Yeah.
Well, and work. Well, now that you know this, I'm just gonna backpedal out of here and bye.
So Jortis is just going to look weirdly at Sarah as she rambled on about everything and nothing seemingly at the same time.
Don't worry, Jortes, it makes sense in context.
Is Jortes like peeking into the vault during all this?
Oh yeah, yeah. I said at the start, he'll stand so he can see in when the doors open.
Jortes, with your amazing perception, does note that he's doing slightly more than just sitting there.
Okay.
Because you can see, reflecting off a very reflective object in the vault, that he is basically doing the exact same thing, looking, kind of keeping an eye out what's going on in the room, using the reflections of the shiny metal.
I'll basically watch him through the reflection, so he basically make it obvious that I know he's watching through it like that, and yeah, okay, sure, if you want to do it like that, go ahead and do it like that.
Doesn't give any clear reaction, but
no, that's fine. I just want him to know. And Joseph sort of just step inside the room because he's been told he's not allowed, but hey, he's defying all rules today.
That's fine.
At this point, Tor's completely given up on the notion of the plan. The plan has failed. No one stuck to the plan.
We haven't barely even had a plan to begin with. Look, we do our best work when we just free flow.
Oh, hi,
What's the word?
Jortess. Sideline
No,
says very
we had a
blatantly.
plan. It's just Sideline completely ruined it.
Jortis will basically call over
Go team.
to the kid and say something along the lines of, everyone's been dancing around, what's actually happened. Sarah with her rambling, and Sideline rambles worse than her, but at least I understand him sometimes. But the thing is, I was the one that took you out of the palace on a request from one of the other members there. Purely so you can see the people in the city. They wanted us to show you the people of the city, what they're going through, their daily lives, things like that, so you can make informed decisions yourself on the laws and stuff that you want to enact, rather than operating off second, third, even fourth-hand information. I give you my word, when we have shown you that, we will let you go. I'll even take you back up to the palace yourself, or myself even. Or contact the other person who wanted us to do this, and they'll do it. Either or. That's basically all he had to say.
There is a pause where he shifts slightly and turns his head back to look at Jortess.
Jortis looks slightly relieved that the boy's awake and everything, but he's also covered in guilt.
What was that?
Jortis looks slightly relieved that the boy's awake and everything, but he's also clearly covered in guilt. He has no bluff or anything, so he is just showing to the world that he feels incredibly guilty about, bringing the boy here against his will.
Was Jortess's bonus on sense motive?
Not too bad. Just give me 2 seconds and I'll check. Plus 13.
Bad. Do you have any bonus against fear?
No, I believe not.
And now here's what's your wisdom?
12, so plus 1 mod.
Okay. So as he kind of turns back to look at you, his eyes that stare at you seem like molten magma, burning away red and orange with a flame of anger. Jortess, and no words are spoken, yet Jortess feels shaken to his core. Literally, Jortess feels shaken for 1 minute.
Oh god, yeah,
by his pure intense gaze.
He quite clearly looks shaken as well. Oh, there isn't actually a shaken condition on the character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's better with demoralized powers.
It's under fear, because whenever fear escalates, it doesn't actually change the numerical benefits or detriments.
Oh yeah, Bigby, just to be clear, Torn is going to go inform you of the situation going on and how the entire plan's just gone sideways. If Thorok wants to say anything, we're just improvising at this point now anyway.
I am not good at talking with people. I'm going to sit up here and meditate and keep a watch over the exits to the ship.
Good on you. Tor's just gonna hand Thorok just a snack or something and just be on his way.
Is Bigby speaking? I'm not hearing him, or
Testing,
he was.
testing.
Okay, I just haven't heard Bigby once.
That's weird.
He's
Oh,
still
and
talking.
Tender.
Yeah, I can't hear Bigby.
Oh, what?
You are
Check your
possessed.
volume.
Wait, you can't hear Bigby.
Nope.
No,
Yeah, that's weird.
We can all hear Bigby.
Yep.
I can't hear Bigby, which explains why I've heard things. I've heard you guys reacting to something. I haven't been able to. I don't know what you've been reacting to.
Yeah. Essentially,
Ah,
Bigby,
dear.
Thorok said he's not good at talking to people, so he's going to stay up elsewhere in the deck and just meditate on things.
Testing.
Welcome back.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, Thorok is going to say, I'm going to set up on top of the deck and watch the exits of the ship.
All
Okay.
right. Well, here.
Daymat, can you speak?
Hello?
Daymat?
Hi.
Sideline?
Hi.
Hinder?
Hello.
I can hear everyone now.
Excellent.
It's slightly awkward when I can't hear one of my players.
Yeah.
Yay, technical issues.
At least he wasn't saying much. Yeah.
Now I feel silly because it's like, I was getting so confused. Like, why are they saying things I didn't understand before? It's like, it's in reference to Bigby, probably, who I couldn't hear.
Ghost Bigby.
Yes, you're currently just locked down in the silent treatment.
Well, seeing as though nobody's making progress, Thorn's going to come down with like basically a platter of just like food and some pastries and other baked goods.
Sure.
It's like, Sarah, can you get the door? I'm holding a lot of food and tea here.
But by the time Torrin comes back down, Jortes will be back outside, sitting somewhere, slightly paler than when Torrin left.
I told you not to go in there, Jortes. You see what happens when you don't stick to the plan.
The plan was shot before I got in there.
Granted.
Sir will get the door somehow.
Here, Jortes, eat this. It'll make you feel better.
He is not a Dementor.
Eat this. It'll make you feel better.
He eats it.
It tastes of honey. Anyway. Thorns is going to go ahead and hop into the vault with like a big platter of just like food, snacks, sweet things, and a bunch of tea, and just kind of set it down in the room.
Ooh, those would be my favorite if I had a sense of taste.
Yes, I know.
So it's just toast. Sure, you can put down the platter.
Well, Your Highness, I'm sure you must be hungry, and I'm sure my associates have been, well, I say associates, my friends, let's be perfectly honest, have been telling you things. But we're not bad people. We're just trying to help. Trying to help as many people as possible. So, if you could please at least hear us out, or I know giving us the benefit of the doubt's a bit much to ask for, but at the very least, could you at least eat something? You haven't eaten in at least 24 hours, and I am worried for your health.
If you're worried we've done something to it, you can pick something out and I'll eat it.
No, I want to eat one.
There's enough here for both of you if you just come in here and grab something.
You make a fair deal, Torrin. Just gonna come and grab something.
Yeah. Sorion does not move, he does not turn around. Remains defiantly looking away.
Little gadget silence working on probably go.
Oh, and if Jortes tries looking at him through the reflections of the objects again, because Jortes is good enough that he could do that, he will see the glare look right back at him again.
And he'll be shaken again, basically.
Yep, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't like me. Which is understandable completely.
You know, Torrin's gonna just like wander over to Elliot and just kind of look at him and go, "You really haven't been saying or doing much. This a bit much for you? You need to go?"
I mean, I can try, but
Yeah.
I don't know how much I can actually pull off right now. Kind of looks in.
Yeah, we've kind of clowned right over this.
You really kind of have.
No plans to rouse contact with the king.
Yes, it does.
This one didn't.
It's because nobody actually listened to me again.
Pat Torn, we do listen to you sometimes.
You're right. I still need to make the distinction of listening to me and actually caring about what I have to say. Anyway. Come on, Elliot. Have a snack, grab some tea.
Yeah, Elliot will certainly go in and try, but even with Elliot's diplomacy, he is stonewalled right now.
Hmm. Well, I have one trick left up my sleeve.
Fine and stubborn.
I hope it's a magic trick.
Magic might be slightly involved.
Sir looks expectantly at
Torn kind of
something.
like hits the intercom and says, Callum, could you come down to the vault, please?
I completely forgot he existed.
Wow.
There is a confused pause, but Callum will make his way down. He won't go in.
No,
Go
come in.
outside. Callum looks at it. A bit cautious. He's never actually gone into the vault properly.
Oh, it's a bit warm, but it's fine.
Goes inside, looks around.
Torn's just gonna like pull out his
He looks
necklace.
He looks slightly pale for some reason.
You okay? Have you been eating right?
Nods.
What's the matter?
Sideline cast detect magic to see if anything strange is going on.
You don't sense anything strange going on. Callum kind of gestures for you to leave the vault with him for a second.
Okay.
Sideline, didn't you have didn't you have what's her face put a Mage's Magnificent Mansion in there anyway?
Yeah.
Or not Magnificent Mansion, Private Sanctum,
Yeah.
meaning no divinations.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Your own tech magic doesn't even work in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
you warded the
wait.
place to the nine hells against literally everything, so
Including yourself.
yeah. Actually, including her, because it never says that her magic will work in it either.
She could try to penetrate it, but even then, she's not even likely to penetrate it.
It's the perfect containment unit for if I go rogue.
Yeah, Callum will essentially inform you. He feels his own connection to the gods breaking up in there.
Jeez, Hecate, you don't do a half-assed job, do you?
I don't think it's her.
I think it's more his connection to the Sun King is too strong and it's just overriding everyone else's.
Yeah, Torn's going to inform Callum basically of Saurian's connection to essentially a fragment of the suns, a fragment of Soln Sen that they call the sun spirit here locally. And it's connected to the royalty, so yes.
Yeah, he doesn't feel that comfortable actually being near him at the moment because he's basically feeling his own divine magic being destroyed being nearby. Which is not a good feeling for someone who is used to hearing divine voices in your head.
You know, that might explain why my necklace was burning up. I just thought it was just like too many sun things in one room.
Yeah, that's a good point. What is the warm fuzzy doing?
What warm fuzzy?
Oh. Aw.
Your warm fuzzy is almost more like a feeling of anger at the moment. Just trying to burn away slightly. But you're made of metal.
Yeah. I can just ignore it.
You can't be affected by rage effects. You're immune.
Hmm. Thor's gonna take off his necklace, hand it to Lucky, and just ask him to keep it safe for him. Because if Callum's getting disconnected from them, then, Thorn feels like his necklace might not be entirely safe in proximity to the kid.
Sure. He'll certainly take it, and if you allow him, he's going to basically retreat.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Whee!
Boop, boop. So this is a mess.
So you guys are just going to go wait there and just kind of keep bickering with him, or keep trying to convince him all day, or?
Yeah, I think at this point we give him time to think about what we've said.
Yeah.
Sideline's here to talk to him or to let us know if he wants anything. Just make sure he has food and stuff, which obviously you've already provided.
Those are the intercom, of course, but yes.
Yeah. We could stand here and talk to him all day, and he's just going to keep ignoring us because we're not giving him time to think on what we've said.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to motion everybody to leave. I'll also just sit there and continue reading one of the epic dragon stories to the eggs.
As an alternative for later, does anyone have the ability to cast any truth spells, like Zone of Truth or anything like that?
I have an elixir of truth.
Well, yeah, at least it would be something in our favor of, we're not lying.
I mean, I can show him memories. That's about as close to the truth as you can get. At least with what we have.
I don't think that would be for the best.
No, neither do I.
Oh my god, they're intruding my brain!
And he can choose to say no, and Sarah won't do it. But yeah,
let's start with the whole truth thing, and then if he wants more information, then we can offer that as a avenue to explore.
So when in question do you want to try doing this then? Same day? Next day?
It's when did he wake up? Sort of early morning or
mid-afternoon?
Mid-afternoon. I'd say next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, pop in occasionally, see if he needs anything. See if he feels like talking.
I mean, Sideline's going to be in there the entire time, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Sideline's just chilling out. Oh, and by the way, Dortess, do me a favor. I finished this piece for a local noble. I'm wondering if you can deliver it to him. So I'll hand you over a mess crafted clockwork McGarfin because Dark said I had a side job that needs to be delivered to some noble.
You're not just trying to get rid of me like Torrin does, are you?
No, I actually need this delivered, and I would like to stay in the vault. And you could just hire a courier if you wanted.
Sense motive 30.
You succeed. Sideline's telling the truth.
I thought he would be, but Justice doesn't like the idea of leaving. But he's been cooped up in the ship for a few days. It's something that needs doing, and nothing's going to come off standing around. So.
Oh, would you like a bit of pocket change so you can go buy yourself some, elven wine while you're out?
I have a bottle and I have my own money.
Okay.
But thank you.
Interestingly, the day after he wakes up, by the way, is a rather interesting day.
God.
Because the next morning when all of you anyone kind of appears outside, it's very cloudy the next day. Just like you see too often. It's very cloudy though.
Well, they did promise rains, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Completely
forgot about that.
It is very cloudy. The sky is very grey for once. A rarity around here.
Feels nice.
Oh,
it's still surprisingly hot, but.
By the way, Dark, I forgot to specify this, but Sideline has placed his Shining Wayfinder very clearly on the table, so you can monitor the needle if anything gets close.
Sure.
And
the next day, though, Sideline will be able to confirm this. Like the next morning, Kid has not gone to sleep since. Stayed up, the entire time. Hasn't moved.
Stubborn.
Are we
I must
sure
say.
he's not a construct too?
Well, whatever he is, he has some tenacity. Jeez. I like to imagine we're all just saying this outside the open door. You can like clearly hear us.
He has not drunk anything, he has not ate anything, he's just sat there.
I imagine these sun spirits giving him strength still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I helped Dawn unlock
But there is just
the
a
box of friends, by the way.
stubbornness. Yeah,
'Cause
that's a thing.
I got a couple of fortunate runs with Lilith on Greed.
Well, I guess after breakfast then,
It was just
Jortes
how
and
many different
whoever else would like to come along would like to go down to Soraya and propose his idea to him. You know, you can check
Torrance
the
is-
extracts
Torrance
and
is
stuff
going
if you
to-
know anything about it, but
Torn's gonna just come in and, bring breakfast, basically.
yeah.
You'll see the
Sorry,
same food and
I
drink.
meant to say I was bringing it, but I completely forgot.
Yeah, you'll see the same
I
food
will,
and
I
drink.
will probably be the one cooking it, if not Thorok, so I should probably be bringing it.
You'll see the same food and drink from before, sitting there, untouched.
Well, I mean, the part of a sweet one's gone because that lies eating it. But
But the writing supplies are still there, the magic water cup is still there where it was left.
No, my magic water cup.
Torrance is going to exchange out the platters, basically.
That's impressive. I actually had to go to the
maybe too many people. Call it to mind. Mind just hanging out on the outside then? No. Thank you.
Ah, crushed.
He's now blocking the door.
You have to start all the way back at the beginning. Oh my god.
So I guess he doesn't react at all to Jortes proposing the whole zone of truth, and you can ask us whatever questions you like.
Well, since it is a new day, you may try to get a reaction from him at least. So, diplomacy to make friend.
I think I should probably be leading this because it is my elixir of truth.
And he does particularly hate Jortes. He hates
Mhm.
all of us, but he particularly hates Jortes.
Oh my god, TV, stop.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
After all, he's done 2 actions in the last 24 hours. Breathe,
And try to
And
kill
he-
sideline.
breathe, and demoralize. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
My TV is being a dick.
Oh,
And of course, the demoralize was against Jortes.
Yep.
Although, I have to admit, now that I've finally unlocked the D6, I feel so happy about playing it.
Okay, so, would Jortes like to roll to aid?
I can't fail to aid, but I'm not sure it's a good idea.
That's a fair point.
There's
Sideline,
still
would
the
you like
whole
to roll?
he hates me.
Sideline, would you like to roll to aid?
Sure. This is going to be my non-buff buff diplomacy, but I will cast this. Oh, I can't cast bestow insight on you.
Can't buff it.
I mean, Jortes will have seen Torn drink like 3 things before entering the vault.
I will attempt to aid while I'm in the vault.
Need to double check that, none of them are divination.
Well, would they still work if you used them outside and then
Content.
walked in, or would they
Yeah.
just dispel?
I think they work as soon as you walk in. It still work. I don't know.
Oh yeah, then you don't need to worry about the whole divination. Unless your zone of truth thinks divination.
Also, it's actually only
Sort of.
divination scrying.
Zone of Truth, I believe, is a divination. I think. Or
It's
did I
only
can't-
divination scrying spells, though, that's prevented by Mage's Private Sanctum. I was misremembering that.
Fine.
Okay, well then. So Sideline, about that diplomacy.
I'll see if I can help. Ready to go non-buff diplomacy? That's not happening. Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well. Boop. Wow, I rolled a 4.
Wow. Nothing we've got to re-roll that?
Oh, dear.
Good,
Fortune
cons-
charm.
I was going to say, would Sarah be willing to fortune charm?
Yes, you can take it. She's just away in her room right now, so.
That is significantly better.
That is. Well done.
Ah, rest in peace, Fortune Charm.
We've gotten so much use out of that.
Can't certainly tell you a 28 is definitely a failure.
Okay.
There is a
There's always
35.
a pickup. Oh man, you found a quarter. No wonder.
Yeah, for the most
Also,
part,
I'm
Torrance is
still
trying
amused
to get
about the
him
fact that
to
Eagle
at
roughly
least
doubled.
eat and drink something to, make sure
Frustrating.
he's okay.
Even if it does,
Mm-hmm.
we won't be able to tell because it's always at the same position on the map.
Oh,
even if
Torn, attempting to convince
Oh, I didn't
him,
realize it didn't have collision with itself.
will eventually get him to turn his head slightly to look towards you. A slightly tired look. After all, he decided not to sleep.
Torrance just kind of sighs and goes, "Yes, I completely understand your situation. I know you don't trust any of us. I know you probably feel like you're under some kind of threat. But we have absolutely zero intention to do any harm to you. In fact, everyone aboard this ship, very nearly everyone aboard this ship, there's one or two people who are just kind of hired help. I'd probably be willing to risk their lives to protect you in case of danger. We really do just want to help."
Of course you'd want to protect me. I'm your valuable cargo.
You think you're cargo?
Captured me for a reason.
We didn't really capture you so much as we're given you from
Can we tell
someone
him?
on the council.
Why don't we just tell him
Who
who's
is-
in the council?
Listen, we were told by a council member to take care of you and to try and help you see the good in the people that you are leading, so that you can see for yourself exactly how everything truly is.
Yes, my kidnappers just conveniently happen to want to do the best for the world. Rolls his
Yeah.
eyes.
It is very convenient, I must say.
Yeah, that's now that I think about it, you're kind of right.
Oh my.
Jortes will take off his hero's badge thing we got from the snowy city, lay it down, and basically say, "I don't know if you recognise this from other envoys, but we kind of have a history of wanting to do the right thing, trying to help."
That's true.
And a couple of them from
And he'll step back again.
with the lost.
Georges,
Well, I mean,
Hmm.
one moment, I need to see something.
Oh crap!
Is he rolling another intimidate check?
You are once again shaken this time for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, Jortes, he
is
really
willingly
does not
taking
like you.
this. I told you.
As he glares at him, and Georges just almost feels like just a flame burning at him, even though there's nothing around.
Yeah, he
Jortes.
steps a few feet further back than where he was standing before.
The kid's presence is far bigger than his size should allow it to be.
Jortes, it's obvious that he doesn't like you, and
Can't really blame him.
It's a waving motion.
I know how much you just want to apologize, Jortes, but he obviously doesn't want to see you right now.
Which is why I'm letting you do most of the talking. But
I mean- waving motion.
I get the idea. I know. And he'll sort of start walking back and leave the vault, stand around outside, using his amazing perception to listen in.
Mm-hmm.
I do apologize for my friend Jortas.
Also, why is there chains written there?
You can ignore that, it's
Chains.
fine.
Chains.
Do not
Chains.
pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Gotta say, out of all the new enemies, I hate the statues the most.
Same.
Yeah, Torn's gonna turn to the kid and say, I do apologize for my friend Jortas if he said anything to offend you.
Chains.
Oh yeah, that's true. They just block all your
No,
Shucks.
oh no, he hasn't said anything to offend me. All he has done is kidnap me.
No, from
Oh, I agree
what
with that one.
we've been told,
Certainly.
he was given you to take out of the palace. He wasn't the one who started this whole kidnapping.
By technicality, cohort and kidnapping.
You really do not like to help today, do you?
No, I'm just providing the whole truth.
He's right though. All of you get executed when I get out of here.
I'm on borrowed time anyway.
You may also notice his bracelet flash again where he tries with all his might to summon some magic that fails.
I do apologize for that bracelet, but we're not the ones who put it on you, and I sincerely doubt our capabilities of properly removing it.
Sideline could.
I could.
Torn
Not
doubts Sideline's
helping.
capabilities.
I mean, Sideline could enchant his gun and just fire the break enchantment spell through his gun, it'd be fine.
It's even then you'd have to be very lucky.
Enchantment, fire through my gun, nanite surge, it's gone. Boom.
Remember, it was a DC 33 though.
I could make that easy.
Anyway.
Sideline is very good at single shot killing.
Torres is going to shake his head and go, right. Well, since everybody just seems to want to run their mouths constantly, I suppose I should ask if you have any questions and whether or not you would like me to be under an elixir of truth while I answer them.
I have no way to prove it's an elixir of truth.
Right, because we have nobody that you trust nearby to confirm your story, and you can't cast any divination magic, right?
Got you there.
Yeah, no, Thor's like, I don't have an argument for that.
You were told the kid was the kid.
Hello?
Hello?
He kind of
Okay,
cut out a little bit.
Yeah, you cut out, so I was wondering if my internet died.
You were told that the kid was pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
How many contingencies has he fought up? And how many conspiracies has he fought up?
I mean, we could bring a third party in to provide Zone of Truth and such, but there's still no way for him to prove that, it's the real deal.
Well, as soon as everybody leaves again, Silent will turn to him.
Thor's not leaving.
Oh, you're not just going to stay in the vault? Okay.
Yeah, that, Torres is pretty much just going to look at Sorry and just go, well, if you believe me or not, I suppose that's irrelevant, since I can't prove it through magical means. But again, if you have any questions, I'm sure you can think of some way to, at the very least, attempt to outsmart us. Your intelligence is rather renowned. But regardless of questions and answers, I would ask that you at least have something to eat, keep up your strength. I have 2 jobs aboard this ship, and one of them is to make sure everybody is healthy. And you are giving me a lot of reasons to be concerned about your health right now.
There's an almost angry look at you for a slight moment. To just look at you and think about what you're saying.
Torres kind of looks at him and goes, "What? I'm the doctor and one of the cooks aboard this ship." Did I say something stupid? I have been known to do that once in a while.
And the goat head, heckin' yes.
He simply just looks away from you now.
I do apologize if I said something.
John, I don't believe you said anything. He seems to be a general miffness towards the entire situation.
I believe it's more a case of you said it's your job to keep everyone nice and healthy and stuff, and yet he believes we kidnapped him, which isn't exactly healthy.
Unfortunately, you guys are not necessarily the best at reading people like this.
I am. My
As am
stats,
I.
kind of, but neither of us are really there.
They're probably around the ship.
And your Rakshasa is not around anymore. They have a different bloodline now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, Wolf would now be imprisoned.
Okay. Just asking, Troy, are you going to be talking to Sarai and Ode? Because I have an idea.
Nah, I'm pretty much out of steam for the moment.
It is a pretty tough challenge. Hate you.
Okay.
Very much hate.
Can Sarah try?
Can I do something quick?
Sure.
Ryan, if you want to, work on something, I have a lot of projects ongoing, and I know you're a big fan of engineering things. I could use a hand over here if you'd like to help. Currently, I'm working on a device that will actually help capture various emotional moments happening in Magic. Main part of engineering, but I know you're good at it. Sideline holds up a blueprint, sort of, so you could see it in the metal shiny bit. Looks like this. I got a bunch of pieces in front of me. Some of it, I mean, sometimes clockwork. You know how it is. It makes you have to require like 4 hands at times. But
does not seem to respond to your temptations.
I'm on level 2.
It's certainly a viable thing to try and tempt him with kind of that, but he does not break. Defiant.
it is a new day. Could I make another diplomacy check to see if I can make him more friend? Or would you find that unreasonable? Because Sideline has just been going about his daily life in here, and you know how much Sideline rambles to himself. Talks happily and jovially.
The issue is, as a whole, the group is basically trying not to open up to you as much as he can. The group really only has one check as a whole to try and break through in a day.
Mm-hmm.
That will get him to break down on his trying to be silent treatment on you, which he's holding for now.
Not really. He was talking to me earlier.
He's gone back to it now, though.
Still mostly silent. Okay.
You got a slight moment out of him, but he's still spending majority of the day just sitting there doing nothing.
So it'd be more reasonable for me to wait until tomorrow to try whatever I'm going to do. Okay.
Unless your plan's like to try and mind read him or something.
No. I have... Considering his character, I think I have a plan which might work. But also it requires me on not taking a spell that I can't use. Because Manual Creation requires a craft check, and I can't do that.
That'd be Sideline's area of expertise.
I know. I forget that things sometimes require me to roll. Travis, I know.
I tender. The group is failing to negotiate with your hostage.
Is he
I'm
at least
gotcha.
negotiating, like speaking to us?
Tess,
Briefly, and then stopped.
Tess, could you make a sense motive check to see if you can, he's slightly warming up to like me or Doran or something? I mean, you
I
are kind of.
could try. Sort of peeking around the doors.
I mean, you are just listening in, so.
Mm-hmm. Ugh, no, I can't.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not sure.
Oh, nose goblin. That's a really. Is it me or does it proc more often than sinus infection?
Okay. I have a plan.
Now,
Oh God.
so is the group just going to wait until the next day?
Oh my god, dead cat.
Yeah, I mean, Torrent's basically gonna go check into like the law offices and follow up on those leads he was given.
Sure.
But other than that,
Does Cylon just remain inside the vault the entire day?
Yeah. He's caring for the eggs, working on a few projects.
I assume you get food brought to the vault for you as well, then.
Yeah.
Or just take his food.
Yeah. I mean, I have my own food. Yeah.
That's basically
Okay.
another item for free there.
So he's never alone in the vault. Got it.
Thanks to the super.
I mean, okay. I should leave him alone for a bit. I'm gonna leave him alone for a bit. I think that would be for the best. He's gonna stand up and say, "It seems like you need a bit of alone time for the night." And must say, "We'll be a short call. You point at the intercom button. It's right here if you need anything. Please don't break the eggs. I mean, they're very important to me. And well, I don't think you would do that, but they're still very nice.
It'd also be incredibly hard for him to break the eggs.
Yeah, they're also very incredibly difficult to break. So I mean, don't try.
Those eggs probably have like DR20 magic. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go over here now. Sadly, he's gonna leave.
Sure.
Go tinker with the reactor for a bit.
Yeah.
Who leave?
And worry about the eggs. I mean, you'll have to, get through my main workshop area because the vault's in my workshop area.
Yeah, it's a huge mistake, Sarah. But it's something that kind of has to happen.
The Griffin is still standing right outside the vault.
Yep.
True.
Thank you for this, Volus Mind. I know you have important business to be doing, but this is also very important.
And thank you for not killing me.
Next, well, in which case, during the early mornings of the next day, as Torin is in the cooking right now, Forok on the top deck is going to see some guards come up to the top of the ship and hail for your attention.
Aye, sirs. What do we do? What do we owe the pleasure?
They're going to briefly introduce themselves as part of the town, as part of the city guard.
Aye.
Due to your ship being docked here, as they do with any caravan, your ship is being treated the same way. That they need to inspect it for any stowaways and for any illicit cargo.
Aye. I understand. If you'll give me a moment, I can go get the captain. You can speak with him.
They will wait there. They'll give you a few minutes before they'll go and come down.
Mm-hmm.
Forok would have known.
Hit the intercom.
Forok, by the way, is fully aware that as soon as those guards showed up, Alex may have dived down into the ship to tell others.
Good idea.
Does he tell Sideline?
Well, firstly, since the closest person would be Torin cooking, Torin will be informed that there are guards here to do inspection of the ship.
fuck.
I have a plan, guys. Don't worry.
Alright, they won't recognize him, but it may cause a fuss.
I'm going to do this to hide the vault.
How are you going to hide the vault?
Ah, wonderful thing known as. I'm going to make a clockwork wall built into the main ship system that cover the front of it. Fabricate.
All right. How big of a clockwork wall?
Enough to cover the damn thing.
Is there a limit on how much you can make with that spell?
Yes, I have 2 castings of it, so.
What's that?
I mean, look how much I can make.
Clock.
No, I just need to know how much you can make with fabricate.
Wall.
10 cubic feet per level per casting.
Yeah.
All right. Does that
There
require
were
a
a lot.
It does require the material to be around, which I have scrap.
Well,
You know,
An ass ton of
guess what we have a whole bunch of? Ship
Supply.
components.
Yes.
would you like to use ship components to basically build a false section here?
Yes. And also disconnect his, intercom. Tick.
Sure. In which case, this will expend 200 supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And even-
Apparently I can't get it.
Okay.
Good news as well, since the vault has the private sanctum on it, nothing can be heard from it anyway.
George sort of stands there watching Sideline build the wall, and when it's done,
Suddenly,
it's like,
boom!
yeah, there's a wall there. Changes it around. Yep, still see it. Look, these are totally giving it away. Yeah. Still, look. You've fixed that bit, but now this bit's completely wrong.
Jortes, we're working with human senses, not whatever you are.
Then that's even better, actually.
I can hear the door is there.
If Jortes if Jortes can't find it, they definitely can't.
Would it be a perception check versus my craft clockwork or something?
I would say it would be against your knowledge engineering.
Okay.
This
Also
case.
works.
Nothing else to spend it on today.
Basically, how well have you made it seem in with the rest of the ship's construction? They will most certainly search the.
Yeah, I would go with the 57.
All right, you go 57.
I can't beat that. You officially made it so that Jortes cannot find it.
The squad will move onto the ship in a stopped and begin to
No,
inspect.
feel free. Go ahead.
The squad consists of 2 halflings, interestingly. The elf, a half orc, and a human.
There's an elf. We're screwed.
It's fine. Fabricate is instantaneous, so there's no lingering auras either.
They search the ship with a deep and thorough look around. Even Alex struggles to remain hidden. Not that he has to, but he's choosing to.
Soren is I imagine Torrent's probably going to have to spend a decent amount of time unpacking his room so that they can search it, considering how densely organized Torrent's stuff is.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jortes gets his permits ready for anything they may find there.
They don't struggle too badly with searching. They seem very good at their job.
You know, it's not their first time at the radio.
Between the different kind of senses they have, and what quite clearly for say Sarah and Sideline they may notice is even some magical senses running on them.
I really hope so.
I would really hope so, too.
They scan the entire ship, top to bottom. On the bright side, they conclude there are no stowaways in your ship.
That's good.
As far as they know. They failed to find Alex, they could have failed to find others.
At the beginning, they failed to find Alex because Alex basically hides in the tiniest portion of the ship that they can't reach.
So does the other stowaways.
Most people can't do that.
Alex just
There's
has
an
a small...
entire little city hidden inside the ship.
Alex is running his own black market inside the bowels of the ship.
Oof. The road's pretty low.
It's the world's new... It's a brand new floating citadel.
I don't think they had a chance to notice the wall.
Yeah, unless they had other miscellaneous bonuses, on a nat 20 they still wouldn't have beat a 57.
They did not, but they did have an incredible bonus, as you see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only the team of 5 of them had that bonus.
Yay for aid rolls.
They do spend a lot of time around that wall, though. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
they seem suspicious of it. But
Well, they're not going to be able to find anything with divination scrying either, so yay.
Apart from a nice big black spot.
Tor knows how Sideline is, and will, if they really think there's something there, Tor would offer them a hammer to test their theory. Because
Yes.
God knows Sideline likes to build things very sturdy.
It's a secret door, we can open it.
Sideline actually would probably have made this. Sideline would probably just made this actually a ship function that just didn't exist previously.
well, I'm going to take a bit more work to make it a proper ship function. For now, you just made a wall. But it's fine. You can unbuild the wall later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not bad just keeping the wall there if you can make it so we can open it. 'Cause, you know, it's another defense for your eggs.
But given given enough time that they will stop inspecting the eventually. Though Fork can tell they are suspicious. They will eventually leave without any problems.
Okay,
The other places
good.
spend a lot of time in the reactor, but you know.
I mean, that's just pretty. I
Yeah.
can understand that.
Torin will pass around smoke goggles if they want to have a look at it.
Oh,
It is
they-
an extremely bright object.
Oh, that's the case, but all of them except the half-orc can look at it just perfectly without any goggles. The orc does put on a pair of goggles of his own, though.
They're used to staring at the sun.
Sadly, that orc has light blindness.
Could we tell if
Guess
these
they
are
keep them
regular
around for
guards
dark
or if they
vision.
were like a specialist division?
What's that?
Were these like regular guards, or were they more just like a specialist division that does this kind of thing?
Oh, most certainly. Given how they introduced themselves to Fork, these weren't regular guards.
Were they more like palace guards, or just
No.
a different branch of the normal guard?
They are a different branch of the normal guard. They are contraband inspectors.
Right. So someone have given them a tip-off saying that we've got contraband.
They simply claimed routine inspection to make sure none of the caravans moving through the city were
Yeah.
transporting anything they weren't supposed to.
These kind of things are never routine, especially when we've been in the city for like a week now, half a week. If we had any contraband, we'd have flogged it here by now.
You could have been picking up contraband.
Could have been picking it up, but less likely.
I mean, there's also a case that, considering the council members and everything, I wouldn't doubt for a damn second that they just check everything, and then after a certain amount of time stayed here, they check it again.
Mm-hmm.
It probably is quite routine now.
Possibly. I would have more just thought, this would have happened when we landed, and then at a routine interval.
I've still yet to grok the best way to play. I know the theory behind it, but I've rarely been able to execute it.
But yeah. So
Ideally, you want to be one.
Basically all the time. Yeah.
Okay. Assuming we can get past the clockwork wall.
I mean, eventually Sideline can unbuild a wall.
I mean,
Like-
yeah, he just cast fabricate. Well, no, I have already used both of it, but I can unbuild.
Sideline,
it.
you did make 9 10-foot cubes.
Oh, well, then I just probably cast once. Then I'll cast it again and take it down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can Fabricate unbuild something?
Oh, his
guess
materials
Using
there.
Using the wall as raw materials, he can craft it into
He builds ship
cubes of
components.
material. Yeah.
Suddenly there's a selection of Clockwork Sideline statues.
Damn it, Sideline, we can't fix the ship with this.
Yes, I can.
You can, we can't.
I'm using
personal
so
problem.
Yeah, Silent just happened though to have the perfect material to build these lying around.
It's almost like I built it in the perfect location. Planning.
It can
Almost.
One away from getting the negative.
happen. And
I
sometimes people
I
can
would
even
claim
follow the
this is
plan.
just serendipitous.
Also, one good thing to know takes.
Okay.
I plan sometimes. Sometimes.
But not this time.
Actually, this time I actually did plan that. That was something I had in mind.
Biological damage.
At some point in the day, Sarah's gonna come down. I'm assuming that Sidelin's still in the vault.
So it's basically
Well, he's not inside the vault right now. He had to be outside the vault to build the wall.
Well, I mean, like after all this happens, well,
After all this happens, he'll go back in and say, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Sorry."
and she's probably not going to come down
But it's
eventually.
also a really
But
He's
Sarah,
still sitting there, though it is notable that the water has gone down.
Sarah's gonna come and say, Sideline, could I'm gonna offer Soren like a chance to bathe. Would you mind leaving for a bit?
Yeah,
Just because it's
sure.
kind of weird. Okay. As soon as like Sideline leaves, Sarah's gonna turn to Soren and say, hi.
Awkward.
That is the
Cricket,
I
cricket.
have ever seen.
Shut up, Sideline.
I can
Dream
see
Sideline.
the awkwardness.
It's
No,
so
you
thick
can't,
you could
because
cut
they-
it with a knife.
You can't. They're inside of my private sanctum.
That's true.
Also, Your Highness, essentially, you've been down here for like 2 days. I'm sure you're not feeling the greatest in terms of cleanliness, so I thought I'd come down and basically offer you the chance to bathe. So I was gonna like pull one of the shrunken barrels of water that we made and kind of just like set it down the floor and enlargify it. I brought some soap, there's a towel, there's this thing on a stick which I'm not sure what it's called, but I think someone said it's called a loofah.
Yeah, that's actually very good. What's the center one?
Does he seem to react at all?
Doesn't seem to. Well, how's Saracen's motive?
She can only try.
She can
Bad.
try.
Yay!
Sarah isn't
Average.
sure. Sarah isn't sure if he's even listening or not.
Okay. Your Highness, I'm going to be honest, there is a kind of secondary reason that I came in here. The primary reason was to offer you a bath, because obviously it's roasted in here. And I know it might be stupid to ask you this at your junction, or this junction, but I want to ask you a favour.
Wow.
Sure.
So kidnap
Means
him and
Georges.
then ask for a favour.
So just gotta like, I don't know, sit down somewhere. I'm sure you're probably aware that, yes, we're all our group's kind of all into this, but not everyone in our crew was. One of our crew, for Phoenix, was not particularly happy with us coincidentally kidnapping all of the royal family and was going to go to one of the guards for us. But one of my friends did tell me what you said about if you get out of here, you said you'd execute all of us. I just want to ask you a favour that in the situation that does happen, could you please spare him? He didn't want to go along with this, nor was he given much of a choice. We're not all happy with this, but I don't know. We're not
This
monsters.
It sounds like Sarah wants to diplomatize with him.
Hell yes.
No, I didn't.
Also, I'm taking my fortune charm back, by
Did
the
you
way.
go with Nanite?
Yeah, of
go with
course.
Nanite Bloodline.
No, I didn't. I went with Arcane.
I'm generally pretty skeptical of.
Look,
movie
I can
titles.
hope. I can dream. So, ow, I just bit my tongue. Okay, this is already going really well.
Wow, I think Sarah or Jemik does not want his diplomacy.
Yep, okay. Maggie, so that's +3.
But I could say the same thing about.
I might believe this is not the best I can get, but
Nanite would be the best.
it would. But sometimes we don't go for best. 27. Sorry, continues. We're not monsters. Okay, maybe some of us are monsters. I can't really speak for everyone on the crew. But I don't want those of us who didn't agree to do this to suffer for no reason.
It sounded like it made sense in terms of making your car tricked out.
Yes, and that was another example of tying in progression with story, because in order to get the new upgrade, coveted
There is a long and awkward pause for Sarah.
He's used to it by now.
Just kind of kicking her feet, like, okay.
I need to check something. Oh, that one. All right. Yes. That.
I grabbed both the heels of the bread, by the way. I hope nobody mind. No. Good stuff.
Okay.
Oh dear. Dangle, isn't it?
Annoying. He will.
The larger
somewhat.
turn bosses are some of my least favorite ones in the game.
And after quite a bit of time, he will turn his head slightly to look back at you. The boy's still looking very tired.
Deal with the devil was on point. Still, it'd be nice to see what NL does with it.
The days when I
At least some of you see the error in your ways then.
Okay. I know you don't trust me at all. Actually, no one can even hear us in here. I can say this out loud.
Bounds ahead of me.
How much have you heard about an individual called Escorin?
I actually had
Who?
completely.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I gather.
Okay.
Keep it short. Summary.
Abridged version is creepy, maybe a vampire man, he's kind of undead, we're not sure. He wants something out your vault.
Game breaking.
And he's willing to go to any length to get it. From what he's told us, he has some kind of weird surrogate person who can take on the Sun Spirit and would probably grant him access. If you remember, like, what, 2 days ago, I told you that someone wanted some very, I don't know if it's rare, an artifact that would allow them to get something from the nightmare. This is this man. And also he is currently actually enamored with us.
So, you decided to aid him kidnap me so he'd be able to do this.
Yes, this is 100% what I'm doing, considering I just said that he's gonna kill you. No. God. I don't...
Oh, right.
Hold on.
That's out of the way.
Okay, in your vault, I think it was a knife, a dagger, something like that. A man roughly 40 years ago, something like that, was found performing blood rituals near way south here. He was arrested, executed, presumably, and I believe whoever your ancestor was came into possession of this knife. Whoever this person, Escorin, twisted, completely twisted, like this cable over here, which I don't know why it's completely twisted, but
reinforcements! I'd like to say something outside.
If he finds you, there's nothing he won't go through. Either he'll mine you as an information source, or he'll kill you and put his surrogate son spirit person on the throne. Also, slightly selfish of me doing this, but I'm afraid you can't sleep anymore. Not because I'm just like being mean and saying you can't sleep, but because this person reads our dreams. I haven't slept in like 3 weeks.
The private sanctum will prevent that.
And also, we're
There's
not
no
working with him.
It works like detect thoughts.
I know we're not. Oh yeah, I probably should say. We're not. Look, sometimes I forget details. We're not working with him. If anything, I'm working to try and find out what he's doing. There's, I have notes here. I guess I could just give you these and you read them.
So Ryan stands up from basically the rolling bed thing that you brought him in on for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Turns and looks at Sarah. Glare.
You can
Oh
stand.
God, look away, look away.
Sarah,
I'm shaking.
what is your sense motive?
Please don't say wisdom. Oh, thank God. Mine's fun.
Your wisdom also -1?
Yep.
Do you have any bonus against fear?
Not currently.
Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
you. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Because as he glares at you with a fury in his eyes, molten like magma, I, king of this land, and you dare take me from my place, and then tell me someone who's been following you round has been
I'm back.
wanting to come after me of all people, and then you expect to tell me that the safest place I could be is with you, the place he's been following around. What
Not
the
absolute
safest
morons? What absolute morons are you? As he shouts out, demoralizes you so much that you actually automatically switch to frightened. By his intense, it almost feels like there is something huge instead of just boy.
Sarah just freezes. She's not really a good venue for escape here. So she kind of just like stiffens where she is and doesn't really move.
I don't have any magic to help her escape.
Not from in here.
Yeah.
Nope, because the place is dimension anchored and everything.
I mean,
It does it. A frightened creature uses any special abilities, including spells, to flee.
I guess I could cast invisibility.
Hide.
What would Sarah do when she feels terrified for some reason?
I mean, hiding is always a good reaction. Yeah, I should probably cast invisibility then. And
Nope, she's not.
I see you.
Thorok's gonna have to come down there.
Lets out a breath for a moment. Looks left, looks right. See if he worked out what you did.
let's just keep holding our breath right now.
I'm not here, I'm not here, I'm... Yes, hide. That's all I can do. Because I will get out of here.
Well, this is going well.
I'm not really sure what Sarah would do because it's kind of hard to get out of the room. The door's very big.
I'm pretty sure she'd like try to trigger the mechanisms from the inside to let herself out. Either
Yeah,
that
probably.
or find a small hole somewhere.
But she doesn't know how.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop her from trying.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
She's just frightened. It doesn't mean that she's forgotten everything that she knows.
No.
She does have a minus
Or
2,
she
that's
thinks
it.
she knows. Yeah.
There are vents in the room, right?
There are.
Should probably try Verven.
That is a means of escape.
Slowly, ever so slowly.
Ryan is backed up into a corner of the room, and it's just basically so he can't be snuck up from behind.
Yeah, so let's just go try and get to the nearest biggest vent.
Spider
Sure,
climb,
you-
attack from above.
Sure, you go over to one of said vents, and Sarah could try crawl up and try to crawl through.
Okay, this is probably the moment she bolt and cast fly. Just kind of like go.
Zoom.
New.
Assuming she doesn't get stuck in the vents.
Okay, I kind of hope that happens just because it'd be the most stupid thing ever.
This is escape hard is to move through a tight space.
Oh shit. Well, Sarah's probably gonna get stuck. I don't have any ranks in this, do I? Unless I can like substitute fly.
Nope, you can't substitute fly.
Oh damn.
That's not bad.
Oh damn.
You know, though Sarah does get
She is-
somewhat. Though
She's
though,
very motivated to escape.
though Sarah does get somewhat stuck, she'll be able to eventually get her way through. Eventually, though she does get stuck halfway.
She probably just hides in the vents for a bit.
Alex probably just comes by and goes, "What are you doing here?"
Pretty much. Kind of flowing through the vent like a liquid like he does.
Okay, first of all, that's incredibly creepy.
It's more just like where you would like, how the hell do you bend that way to get through here? But with that though, halfway through the like at that point where Sarah's stuck, that's kind of point where she'd probably calm down and no longer be frightened or just shaken.
Goody. Just kind of just like, well, that was utterly pants-shitting terrifying.
Now you know how I feel. Echoes down the air vents.
Admittedly, you're worse at defending against that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I can counter-intimidate.
At this point, Sideline will open the door and say, "Why is there a breach in Vent 13?
And where did Sarah go?
Where's Sarah?
Why is there a barrel of water here and also a bar of soap and some towels?
Well, I guess I better flush the vents.
How much later does would Sideline be showing up after Sarah went in?
And not much.
How much is that?
6 rounds.
So not even a minute.
Alright. In which case, yeah, you basically walk into the exact scene from before. Sarah is still trying to crawl through the vents at this current time.
Sideline will just blink and go, "I'm going to ignore that for now. Sarah, that's the main heating vent. If that turns on, you're going to be incinerated."
Cast resist energy fire.
That'll help, kind of, not really. Well, I can see you've got along with Sarah fairly well. He'll say to the Sun King.
Brian just kind of turns his head away, goes back over to basically the bed on wheels thing you brought in the trolley.
Mm-hmm.
Wheels it further away from Sideline and just
Yep.
facing the wall. Though he has admittedly taken the cup of ever-filling water.
No, this was our plan all along, just to make Sideline seem amazing compared to the rest of us. We're all murderers, thieves, and scoundrels, whereas Sideline's a nice little angelic boy who doesn't do anything wrong ever. Ignore the mansions he blew up.
Excuse you.
You're not even down there.
No, not.
Admittedly, so he had a valid point of, yeah, so it's Goran's hunting him, moving away from the most secure palace that ever is.
So secure I got in there.
Yeah, we didn't choose to do that though.
Yeah, admittedly he didn't let me retort.
You had help, and you only went through one of 6 curtain walls.
Yeah.
Remember when the first ones are the more defended ones.
Oh, I know.
But it's easy to win any argument when the party can't argue back.
Yeah. Very easy to win arguments whenever you can literally yell people into submission and make them not retort. This is why Thorak is going to go down there, and he's going to just stonewall him because of sense motive and wisdom.
And also, Sideline's been useful for that because Sideline can't be feared.
So he hasn't tried it on Sideline.
Yeah, he doesn't need to, because Sideline's a good person.
Or at least not a bad one.
Okay, so Soraya went over into a bed cart.
Basically, he took the bed cart he was brought in on, basically just wheeled it over towards the wall, and it's just facing away from you.
Basically, he moved the gurney.
Okay. Sideline's gonna reach up into a vent and go, "Sarah, come here. Come on, stop. Come on."
I think I got further through than you being able to touch me.
I'm not touching you. I'm just leaning in and say, "Come on, where are you going?"
Probably further down the vent access at this point to try to get
Sarah,
away from wherever
there's only
Soraya
fire
is.
and pain that way.
Same back.
You know, it might be awkward for Sarah to reverse at this point, given how she's kind of gone in.
Look, I'm living here now.
He is now one with the ship.
Do I need to come in and disassemble the pipe so you can get out?
No, give me a day.
As Alex kind of like, hey, this is my spot.
Go away, Alex.
Go get your own narrow tube.
So then just give me a day. I'm gonna need a really long straw.
You do a straw.
Can you gaseous form?
Tomorrow.
As I said, though Sarah can eventually get through, it just takes her a long time.
Next day, can I recommend that we try to befriend him? That I try to befriend him with technology.
Sure, but I'm still bringing in breakfast.
Okay, that's fine.
I think
I'll
after this, we
still
should probably
hang
give him a
around just
break.
outside.
Sideline would also notice, kind of going into the vault,
Mhm.
kind of after this whole endeavor with Sarah. In the time that he's been away a few times, some things in the room have been touched clearly.
He's been nosy.
Like what?
Some of the things that you've been working on, some of the mechanisms on the door, various things around. Clearly, he's been inspecting everything and trying to work out what everything does.
Trying to figure his way out and just being nosy.
But with you in here, you just basically seem to just lock up and do nothing.
Pity you don't have like a security camera in there.
Unfortunately, magical security cameras don't work. Scrying's blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sideline will walk over to some of the things that he fiddles with because he left a lot of his like devices in here just so Sarai can look at Sarai ran the English, so he can look at it.
He certainly did it quite clearly.
Yeah. Oh, I see you fiddled with things. What do you think about them? You know, one maker to the next. After all, getting advice from each other is always a great way of improvements.
Own the Sideline brand extendo stick.
Yes.
Sideline,
Yeah.
you also have a chance to roll a diplomacy check today.
Oh, God.
Yay! A proper diplomacy check. Cool. I'm gonna buff all this sweet Jesus hell.
Yeah, remember you did almost build your fabricate wall today.
Yes. It's not gonna be the best, but oh well. 28.
Ooh, ouch. Was that including nanite or
No,
whatever?
I nanited the wall.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why you got so high.
Mm-hmm.
Even for Sideline, that was a really good wall.
Mm-hmm.
He was proud of it, and then he had
He was
to take it
panicking.
apart.
Sideline knows walls. He spent thousands of years staring and working on a wall,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out how to perfect the concept that is wall.
Sideline won't get a direct response from him. He'll just seemingly still stonewall you, but is a big thing. Because occasionally, Mirror will kind of alert you that the boy was looking over at you for a few moments, like trying to watch what you were doing.
Take your faceplate off.
Sideline will do this. I will leave a notepad in here next to a bunch of my equipment. I'll bring in a few scrap metal bits. If you want to work on stuff or work on your own designs so you can draw stuff, I'll leave some stuff in here. And, well, if you need any more tools, I'll happily bring it in. Oh, but if you start fiddling with the door, I mean, I'll have to come repair it because I have it on an alarm system that makes things, if things have been breached. Like that vent Sarah won't get out of.
It's out by now.
I live here.
No, you don't. That's the heating vent. That's going to burst into flames if I turn the vault back on in a proper heating position.
2% flames.
Only when I'm drunk.
But you don't get drunk.
His equivalent drunk is being on fire.
Yeah, my drunk is being on fire and hyper.
Also, by the way, today is also very cloudy.
Oh, cool.
There's been no rain though, but it's very cloudy.
Well, Sideline will then leave a piece of notepaper on it and
Was that
leave.
small boy a dragon?
How do I?
What?
Sorry, 1 second.
Yes, only on Sundays. Or days ending in Y.
That's every day.
Exactly.
Keep in mind, well, maybe we don't know this. Shards of Eyrie has like 2 extra days.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they all end in the word day.
Maybe.
No, we do have a calendar you can check.
Yeah. Haven't used that in a while. Something's not Dragon on
I should have
Christmas.
asked Dark if I could have used engineering instead of diplomacy for that check in particular.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I stopped checking the calendar after it stopped being up to date with the moon cycles.
Ah, none of these days have Y in them. It's always a dragon. No, he's never a dragon. Same thing.
Actually, Sarah, do you want to hear a story?
I'm back.
Oh dear. Yay, saved by the dark.
Yay! So, Sun King, you want to hear a story? About why you're sharing a vault with 2 dragon eggs. I mean, they're not very commonly found. I can tell you the story about how I got a hold of them. And of course, Adlin will tell the story, then leave because kid needs to sleep and take a bath. I'm gonna also raise the option that we should maybe take off and go start working our way getting towards the mountain, and then we can continue talking to the king over there.
Give it 1 or 2 more days, Sideline. Because we don't want to
been
leave.
3 days.
We don't want to leave very quickly.
It's fair.
The later we
Especially
leave,
right
the
after
less
an
suspicion.
inspection.
Yeah. The later we leave, the less attention will be paid to us, the less suspicion is on us.
So, preparing using the information Thorak has got. Probably a good idea.
Sure, that's every muted for some reason. That's weird.
Hmm.
Is there anything Thorak wants to do on the top deck?
Does
Does he go out at all? Does he just sit there meditating and drop reaction?
Yeah, I think Thorak's going to be going out and getting more information on the mountain again.
Sure.
More information on the Elemental Lord, actually.
Not something Thorak's the most versed in, but you can certainly try.
No, I want to find an expert for that, though.
Sure. That is something that Thorak can look into doing. Thorak is pretty decent at the subject.
Ask for a better start.
I mean, Thorak's pretty good at finding the right kinds of people, at least. He can read people very well.
He does. He reads people and he punches them.
Yes, Ryan will certainly he'll most certainly have used the water and seem to have slept by the next time Silent goes in.
Oh, you slept! I hear that's good for organic people.
Silent also noticed something else, though. The dragon eggs are lightly pulsing.
Why are my dragon eggs pulsing?
They're right next to the power of the sun. That's cutting off God stuff. So, who knows?
Yeah, that's...
No, I don't think he's cutting it off. I think he's more just overpowering connections.
That.
Not enough bandwidth to share.
Satellite blinks if you've done it.
Pulsing at a magical level.
Would that be a good thing? Would I know?
Sideline. Something is causing the dragon eggs to wake up slowly, change from a dormant state to an active state.
That's a good thing. I'm going to let them sit there. Good.
Yeah, something has caused the dragon eggs to react to the outside world.
I have good
Wonder what
news,
that
Sun
is.
King. You've awoken the dragon eggs after their 5,000-year slumber. Good. I think you did. Or was it my reading? I don't know. One of those two. Or just time. One of
Clearly,
those three.
clearly it was story time.
I hope it's story time. Story time is very important.
But yeah, now they've started this. That means it's just inevitable time before they'll probably wake up. And have to start the hatching.
Sutherland will go over to the Sun King. I don't know if you did it or something else did it, but I feel like I should thank you. Thank you. He'll say, hold out a hand for shaking.
Sideline.
Hmm?
For this next day, would you like to roll me a diplomacy check?
Can I replace it with engineering to make friends with him?
It doesn't sound like a particularly engineering-based check, this bit.
Clockwork
Though,
bit?
actually, I will allow you something else, though.
Hmm.
How would you feel about an Arcana at -10?
I feel much better about that.
Even at -10, it's still better.
It is a new day as well, so
Nanite.
other things.
Breakfast hasn't been brought down yet.
Still cooking.
What is Toron
Getting
cooking?
bacon.
What
I
is
don't know.
Toron cooking?
Does anyone else have buffs that they could throw on me?
If you go up to Torin, he always has Tears of Wine available. You know that.
I need a drink, Torin.
So you would have gone to Toron before going down to the boat?
I don't know.
Torin's pretty much just going to go like, here's some eggy toast, here's this, here's that. These are for the prince, and here's that drink you ordered.
Thank you, Chug. And let's see if there's anything else. Let me see. Let me look at my spells. Probably not, honestly. I will take rerolls can be stacked, right?
If you're using Bestow Insight, no.
No. Okay.
I don't know if it can, Joe, but I don't think so either.
Then I will knowledge Arcana.
Oh, and Dark, to answer your question.
Oh my god.
I will use the 62. Minus
Little
10 is
ready
not
for
enough.
puns.
So the -10 was not included, you said?
Not included. No.
Right, so that's still a 52.
You get
Still the hell sideline.
you get some reaction from him as he kind of looks at you, offering it the handshake. Turns his nose up a little bit, just kind of rejects it, but at least clearly it gives you some attention.
Suddenly we'll smile. Oh, okay. I see how it is. It's fine, though. Sorry if I'm a little bit off-putting. I mean, I'm not entirely organic after all. Something will sort of slightly move his faceplate so you can see. Like, some people find me creepy, but I don't quite understand that bit.
Made of metal.
Entirely.
Given your nature, Bavarian kind of construction.
Yeah. Sorry about your walls. I may have shot them a few times long ago.
Bro. That old?
Yes. So is the dragon.
Faceplate
But the
off.
Sideline did. He takes his
Yeah.
faceplate off entirely this time and opens up his chest plate so you can see all the glowy bits inside.
Sweet.
Sadly, you won't find another model. Well, you'll maybe find another model, but that one's currently on the Flying Citadel. You're not likely to get to it currently. But yes, I'm the only model of my type that I know of.
Proceeding to study you, it seems.
Feel free to study me as long as you wish. Just make sure you tell me what part you're poking around in.
Around you. He's not really, he's not going to touch you at all, but he's just kind of looking around you and inspecting you.
I mean, I could take my arm off if you want to inspect that by hand, and you then wouldn't technically be touching me.
Raises a slight eyebrow to that.
You hear a bunch
Arm
of
off.
sideline. You hear a bunch of steam, and suddenly a bunch of bolts automatically unscrew, and his arm flumps to the ground. Ta-da!
He looks at you, moves towards it slightly, though he seems a little bit cautious about getting too close to any of you.
Sideline will back off and just motion to the arm.
In which case he will, without too much effort, the kid is surprisingly strong, pick up the arm.
Yeah, a lot of people find it very off-putting, but I know a man of your intelligence would find it more interesting than off-putting.
He'll kind of put it down on the trolley he was sitting on earlier. Start to tinker around with it. Looking at it slightly and tugging at some bits, pulling at some bits, examining, tracing the various parts of it around.
Wonderful mixture of Gollumancy and clockwork making, I must say. I've worked on it for years and never have been able to create a full replica myself.
That's actually not bad.
Whoever built me was a master craftsman. Personally, I've been looking around for finding how I was built and who I was built by. I've never found out in my many years on this planet. Oh, and technically I'm 2 constructs. Say hi, Mira.
Hello, Mira. Literally just goes up. Hello, Mira.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. Those some noble efforts right there, and I'm going to be...
Shrine doesn't say a whole lot, but it's clear his interest has been piqued as he's
Oh, let's hope I find some tinted rocks.
kind of examining it a little bit.
Feel free to ask any questions.
Oh, Catacombs XL, okay.
You might get 1 or 2 more questions, but he doesn't seem to want to talk too much. He's still very much on guard, but broken it a little bit. At least.
Yes, the coal reason.
At least while it's just sideline in the room. Though he does lightly comment something that might pique Sideline's interest slightly.
Hmm?
So, that's how it's supposed to work. That explains why this one doesn't work.
Oh, excuse me? What?
Here's over.
You remembering one of your own designs?
As with the legacy of my forefathers who repelled your armies, we have some of you still.
Really?
You don't work, but they didn't work. But
Well, after all this kerfuffle is over, and well, you go back to your kingdom, and after you get all released and all that, I would be happy to help him maybe get back working.
just very suspicious look.
It's been so long since I met another person of my kind. I mean, I don't think I've ever met a person under the same model as mine. Oh yes, but I would be happy to help working with you.
He just continues tinkering though for now.
Has he eaten anything ahead Silent bring him?
Yes. I would assume. I mean, I did bring in the plate and plate it down.
I did say before Cylone showed up, there was some of the food, a tiny bit of the food's gone, but not much. Hits it slightly, but
he has been drinking.
He has certainly been drinking water, at least.
Progress.
Oh, I've also hate to ask, but I've been working on my own devices and programming myself. I have to fiddle with myself every so often to keep me up to date. I've been building up a new sort of emotional center, well, synthetic emotional center, so I can mildly simulate things to a very low degree. Interacting with me hasn't been a pain, has it? I know it's bad circumstances to be asking that question, but, you know, I take criticism wherever I can get it.
Has a bit hit you, but shakes his head somewhat.
Oh, good. Thank you.
The sideline.
Yeah.
Your system alerts you of something moving through the vents.
Which vent?
Everyone
One
is
of the
just loving those vents
One of the
today.
vents leading to this room. There's something moving through it.
Sideline will open the vent leading to this room.
Okay. You open the vent. Sideline.
Yes.
Roll me perception.
It's not the best.
Don't say.
They can't roll lower than that.
Something works an eyebrow, closes it.
And you don't see anything.
Sideline will close the vent, screw it shut, and step slightly to the side, making sure if anything is in the vent, it can't reach me.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, are you still in there?
Good thing the things in the vent can't see in.
Mm-hmm. And also, Sideline will probably just close the slats on the vent. Chunk.
Alright. As time kind of goes on in the day.
And also, I'll take my leave so he could eat his food because he still doesn't like interacting with things around him when other people are in the room. And I'll leave my arm in there. Screw it.
You have another one.
I don't have another one. It's just he seems to be having fun and enjoying that one.
Oh,
so.
you have 2 arms. You're fine.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I have a spare on my left. I will go back and say, Jortas,
Yes.
I seem to have. I got a detection in one of the vents. That one in particular. He'll claim a serial code for the vent that he's referring to. I got a detection for like a intrusion in that vent. Could you, like, I don't know, look around that area for me, please? Thank you.
I mean, I can come in and look up the vent if you want, but
I
really...
can open up a side panel so you don't have to enter the vault.
Okay. I'll have a look then.
Mm-hmm.
You want a perception?
You can give me a perception.
Oh, so close.
Hot damn.
Jordan does not see anything in the vent.
Yeah, looks pretty clear to me. Can he hear
Sideline?
anything in the vent?
Yeah.
It's an alarm.
Running time to the vault.
The vault has been unlocked.
Damn it, can't...
Dimension
we all
door. I
hear
grabbed
this?
Jortas and dimension door.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's a thing now.
Okay, so Jortas, you 2 appear there behind the giant, behind, of course, giant griffin who's blocking the door.
As soon as I arrive, immediate action. Oh wait, no. Wait, is there anything in the room?
What you see is Shrine standing by the door with a small scorpion on his shoulder, staring at the griffin like, I was not expecting this.
Do I recognise the scorpion? Is it Mr. Snips?
Snips. Recognize the scorpion.
Hi. Nice scorpion, by the way.
Snips at you angrily.
Oh, damn it, of course. Yeah.
What?
Kind of makes sense that he can, I don't know if it's talking to animals or they can sense them or what. It does kind of make sense to me. I'm not sure why, but it just does.
It seems like Shrine tried to get out of the vault though, and somehow actually succeeded at opening it.
The very last check, I'm assuming.
Perhaps you don't know.
Well, hi. Hi.
Your test looks nervous, but mildly impressed.
Hold on.
Kind of look at the giant griffin blocking his way though, it's like, course you'd guard the door. Cool. Scorpion snips slightly.
Vault mine. He says, like, sort of stumbles over and around and into the vault, and he looks at. Yeah, and he's going to look at the various work that he did. Ah.
Looking at it, he hasn't forced his way through. He's just decoded the entire thing.
Nicely done.
Sideline's just looking over at how he did it. Actually, thank you for doing this, because it actually sure up a lot of the problems I've had. Also because, well, this vault isn't really meant to contain you. It's meant to keep people out from the eggs.
Oh, is that on matchmaking?
Mm-hmm. If he had to try and get in from the outside, he'd probably struggle a lot more. But getting out from the inside, that's far easier to work out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that hard.
I mean, yeah, you're on the inside. The outside is much more difficult.
Well, I guess now you're out and you know how to get out. Do you want a tour?
I went off the ship.
Manager, spreadsheet simulator. This is even worse.
Oh man.
Okay, I
Fair enough.
want to say something, but considering considering Jortis is slightly unnerved by the kid, and the kid hates him.
He has not demoralized you this time.
This time.
Though admittedly, Jortis, of course, would still remember somehow this kid having such a huge presence.
Yes. Jortis is going to go out on a massive limb here and basically say, if we let you go up to, say, the top deck or one of the upper levels where you can see out a window, rather than just immediately running off to the guards and screaming at them, would you like to see your city from a different view? Just have a look before you go running off? Like I said before, I just want to show you your city and your people. After that, once you understand more about them, as far as I'm concerned, you can go back to the castle or the palace. Meow.
Yeah.
Ice was meowing at the door.
Meow.
I mean, after all, we're not holding captive, trying to teach you the difference.
You are amazing. How are you doing?
Well, how about you roll me a diplomacy check or test?
Today, guys?
Hell. Can Sideline aid?
Hi, Iced.
Hi, Ice.
Sideline says hi. Tinder says hi.
Hi.
Lauren says hi.
We all say hi.
Hello.
Bigby says hi.
Heyo!
JMac doesn't, because JMac's a joke.
I'm muted, that's why. Iced.
Yeah, diplomacy check to convince him.
Can Sideline aid?
Basement dwellers.
I've got what you've got.
Sideline.
I could aid.
Please, you are speaking as well.
I have been speaking as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I just said to him, what happens if I can't come into it?
He's all
Nobody
right.
else is going to do anything. So, he's happy to let me work from home tomorrow morning.
So how good is Sideline at aiding
Until
diplomacy?
my office hours, which are
I can't aid diplomacy with anything else, can I?
I've got my lecture
Nope.
at 6 till 9, so I'm going to go in about 2 o'clock-ish.
Let's see your -2 charisma in action.
Wow. Okay, never mind then.
It wasn't a negative.
Yeah, thankfully you can't get a negative.
I need to get
could've.
some magical items to buff my diplomacy.
I mean, Sideline could have rolled a -1.
I mean, it wouldn't penalize your test though.
Bleh. Not as good as I would like.
Oh, of course not. You always want a nat 20 on skill checks, but
I do. I'm quite greedy like that.
No, I get it. You want
everyone does.
you want to fly off.
I have.
But
You want to fly off with me on here, so I can't get back.
No.
If we wanted to fly off with you on here, we would have flown off while you were unconscious for a day, and then within the last 3 days of talking
Yes,
to you.
You're desperate now because you know I can get out.
No, not
If
really.
if I was desperate, I would be trying to. Essentially, if I was so worried that you'd break out of here and rat us out to the guards and get us executed and blah blah blah, I would be doing other things than offering to show you the ship. As it is, there are bigger things than my life at stake here. There's the entire city to think of.
There is, and without their ruler, how are they going to function?
As
Like
I
they
keep
are
saying,
now?
we will let you go once we have had a chance to show you things. And once you've had a chance to truly understand them.
Pizza order.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Because Evan feels like shit. I don't feel great, but I feel well enough that I will eat fucking pizza.
Hey, pizza!
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
He kind of looks at you.
And I mean, if we took off now, I would never meet another person of my kind.
And the wafer.
Okay.
So I've got a little bit of survivability. Although
Would you like
I
pizza?
did stupid damage against
Yes?
monsters.
Do
Yes.
you have any particular toppings or things you like, or you just
My preferred is Hawaiian, but I'll go with
you want Hawaiian?
Actually have an effect until much later.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, because I know. Okay. Hawaiian. Does anyone else like Hawaiian?
I do.
I know Jackie does. Hawaiian? What would you like?
All the
I'm
pizzas.
gonna get like 2 or 3 pizzas. So.
Sorry, what was that?
basically, it's what
Do you say
would
tender?
guys like?
Just get all the pizzas.
Tender says get all the pizzas.
I'm fine with whatever. There's a pepperoni mushroomy one. I forget.
Some kind of
Yeah,
vegetarian.
kind of just looks back and forth at you. And he's going to try just walking past
Are
or both
people
of you.
here fond of mushrooms or olives
Okay.
or anything like that?
I will walk with him.
Do you give any indication to the construct of it, should it block or not?
I will telepathically, because he's my construct, telepathically saying, don't let him run off.
You know, don't restrict him, but don't
Don't
let
restrict
him
him,
run
but don't
off.
let him run off, is the thing.
So, Torin, in the kitchen,
The last to make it walk out the door.
as you'd likely be,
And the spirit heart.
your holy symbol
Yeah,
starts
this
getting
is
very,
still
very
pretty
hot.
early in the morning.
Your holy symbol starts getting very, very hot all of a sudden.
Thorin just kind of looks at Cal and goes, I think our guest is up and walking around the ship.
Also, you hear Silo clanking and Griffin clanking.
Sack boy and spirit heart.
And it sounds like he has an escort, so that's good. Because they're
I
quite
think
distinctly
that's a-
walking and not running, so...
Well, no, I do need to upgrade my shop a little more, and I keep sort of just. Yeah.
Because you indeed see him kind of quickly just open up the door,
Yep.
looking in.
When you reach a
Oh, fuck.
That's the
Yeah,
kitchen.
The other one.
And the bar. And quite a nice viewing post.
Thorin just kind of turns around and goes, Oh, hello, Your Majesty. Would you like something to eat or drink?
Obviously, I want to use a Book of Belial effect in an empty shop.
Can I have something?
What do you want?
Whatever you got ready.
I don't have
Sideline
anything
kind of
ready.
woke
I
me
was
up about
getting my...
screams of alarms.
I wasn't making anything to eat. I was actually coming in here to
Yeah, well,
mostly
no-
clean, really.
Never mind then, I'll get something when we're, you know...
Could you pass me that
Finish
bottle right there?
escorting.
Sideline points at one.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
It's
Come get
full
it.
of a very strange black liquid that you wouldn't expect to be in a wine bottle.
On this side.
Here you go.
Great, is that the one?
Thank you. Sideline pours out this wine bottle that seems to be filled with oil.
You keep oil in a bar.
That's actually
I didn't
good.
want to
know-
feel excluded because people drink things at the bar and I had nothing to drink.
You've got to cater to all tastes.
It was a possibility. Do I have anything else to do on this
Fair,
I could go over, but I
suppose.
don't really care.
Look, Sideline's a person. He wants to drink at the bar. Sure, why not?
It makes me feel more alive.
Also, Tinted Rock in the corner. Hecking yes.
He's working on becoming human or some humanoid equivalent. He's
I'm
a
working on
strange man, but
I mean, the thing is,
I have my
he's
own
one of the most
ambitions.
easy bosses to telegraph. I found.
theoretically, I could. I don't know. Actually, should I say that? That's part of evil. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to think of a fair way instead of stealing someone's body. I want to see if I can develop it on my own. I don't want to steal anyone's body. That's wrong.
It is pretty wrong.
Yeah. That's the viewing deck, Silence saying down by the bar, still pouring himself some very, very thick alcohol, booze, oil. It's coming out of the bottle very slowly. It's not designed to be in the bottle.
Torin will note, by the way, your holy symbol is not burning as hot as before.
Jortis will go up the other steps onto the viewing deck as well and just start pointing out the various districts. Because, it's a different view from what he's had before.
Jortis kind of hears Torin goes, "Oh, now I understand."
It's not my favorite pick from an angel room, but I'm not picky.
Okay.
I will agree.
What do you understand now? Is it based on anger or emotion?
It's an angel room.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Also, sideline, the warm fuzz in you is no longer also as hatred-filled.
Yay!
It's kind of right now a really confused neutral. Like it wants to be angry, but at the same time, it's not angry.
Hey, Torin. I made a friend.
I can see that.
It's around. It's one of the doors. Where's the doors?
Few sides on here that come with fancy.
Jortis is basically following him along, pointing out various things about the ship. Probably getting half of them wrong, but I imagine Sideline's quickly correcting him.
Yes.
I mean, even Srine probably corrects some of it. Oh, that's not what it does. What is that?
I'm not very good with this whole clockwork technical stuff.
You could be better.
He's not a mechanic, he just lives here.
Fork, you will suddenly see, this come to the top deck.
Alright. Thork is meditating on the bow at the time, so...
Okay, you're meditating on that. Do you, turn around at all, or do you just pay no attention?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, Thork is going to stand up and move over to them.
Jortis points him out as he's coming
Sort of
over. It's
bow.
like, that's Thorok. He's a rock.
He's our resident dwarf.
That's only because we haven't taken on any more dwarves.
We kind of
Everybody
had
gets
one
hello.
for a while, and then we dropped him off. And
the good news with Fork is the company of Ballista operators. You wanted to get for when you go on the trip.
Mm-hmm. Not here yet.
The captain and half the crew is dwarves.
Oh, I thought they might anyway. Dwarves are very good at siege engines, as it turns out. Dwarves and gnomes.
Most of them are dwarves. The rest of them are mostly human.
Mm-hmm.
A half elf.
He's probably like the spotter.
Humans and dwarves are known to agree on one simple thing. The larger your enemy, the larger the weapon you need.
And then the monk comes along.
He kind of looks at you,
History.
stares at you a little bit. How does Thorok look, by the way?
Thorok looks normal. Hasn't changed at all. He's wearing his normal, woolen, wearing a hot weather, so it's probably a sort of a slight silk monk robe that he got as a hot weather outfit. So pretty simple, his classic bald head, beard normally maintained and everything.
The sun's shining off his head.
Glistening, blinding.
It's cloudy, remember?
Yeah,
right.
Sun's still somehow shining on his head.
It's been very cloudy and rather dim most last few days.
You can see a perfect reflection of the cloud in his scalp.
Just as normal, Thork is standing up straight, very looking just very disciplined, just in general.
Very well.
As he generally does.
Except on it's an item. Well, it can't all be winners.
Given Thorok's background,
Mm-hmm.
Thorok doesn't come from necessarily a low-class background himself.
Oh, I don't.
Perhaps Thorok presents himself in a particularly good way.
Perhaps.
with your bonus for dwarves,
Uh-huh.
would you like to give me either a religion or a nobility check?
All right. Have. I guess since I'm getting dwarf bonus, it doesn't matter. Why am I getting penalties? Oh, whoops. Give me a second. Things. Yeah, religion. Nice.
Yay, technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, there's no penalty for failure, but you don't get any bonuses due to it.
That's fine.
Oh, that was silly.
You know, you did spend so long in the monastery away from that. It's fine.
Mhm.
It's
that's
fine.
actually my, like-
He caught Thor off completely off guard.
That's actually my best knowledge check as well.
He just seems to nod at you slightly and kind of just look around, examining his environment, trying to figure things out. The scorpion doing the exact same.
Doctor sort of points up to the crow's nest and says, "It gets a bit windy up there, but you can have an amazing view.
Aye.
It's best if you tie yourself on, though, so the wind doesn't take you."
All right then.
If you wish to climb up yourself, I'll hold your scorpion for you.
The scorpion, in response to that, immediately hides inside the peasant's tunic you put him in.
We didn't do that, did we?
No, he was like that when I got him.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to undress the Sun Prince.
Nope.
I mean, it's not like you have anything that's, the most appropriate anyway, but...
Sideline will ask if it's a familiar.
Oh, this guppy.
You get a,
And go ahead.
you get a slight nod as he looks around.
Does that have a name?
Yeah, I do have
Doesn't care to answer you on that one.
Now, yeah.
I'm going to call him Snips Jr.
Is this room? Okay, no, really, not Rosary Bead.
He kind of looks up at you, snips a claw, hides again.
See, that's why.
What does it do? Oh, sweet. Yeah, I accepted it. Yeah, petrified poop really isn't as good this time.
You can use the space bomb.
Unfortunately, the next bit of situation that might occur is
Okay, right.
perhaps a little bit expected. Of Srine walking towards the edge, walking towards the gangplank of the ship, and
Yeah. Thorak was
Yeah.
going to do the same as well.
Says just sighs gently.
still Giant Griffin is certainly better at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
because Giant Griffin
size-wise,
just, like,
anyway.
use...
I mean,
Giant
he
Griffin just
Yep.
flies over.
I mean, pretty much he just sits on the gangplank. It's like, you can't cross now. Let me
You went up
pass.
to him and you did
I am sorry, but you shall not be passing.
parts from 1.5.
Not yet, please.
No. Yet.
Give us a little more time. We'll answer any questions you have,
Too much
and
speed to make
at
that
some
work.
point we can go down into the city and show you around.
Personally, I can't wait for it, but they don't let me yet.
But for now, please just come back inside. We can get you a proper room. You can
Cheers.
have a bath if
Oh, wait, hold
Sarah,
on, hold
if you
on.
didn't have Sarah's one. Something to eat. Have a rest. You are looking quite tired
Okay, so
now.
now that the game's literally...
You dropped the rosary reading.
Oh, that's alright, because now I'm in Red Poop Land.
I don't think we should get him a proper.
I mean, okay.
We should
not
just
making boss
keep
rush,
him in the
this is
vault.
good shit.
He can get himself out the vault.
No,
Is that
but the
one of
vault's the
rules?
safest place for him from literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know.
We've explained this, but
But
we
he still
can't.
doesn't want to stay in a giant safe.
He views a safer
Okay,
place
so I'm
called
ready
his
for
own
you,
palace.
so let's go
Yes.
this way.
Yeah. Too bad he can't go there because that's definitely not the safest place for him.
Well, you know what? It kind of
Not
was.
the best dealing with situations like this.
It was
Yeah.
safe asterisk.
Yeah.
It was,
As
it
far
was
It
safe.
was
as he,
safest-
as far
safest
as he
for
was
Escorin.
concerned, it was safe.
It was safest from Escorin, but
I'm
Yes.
going to go back down. I don't know how to help here. Sidelin's going to go down to the vault and go start working on
more
various
help
fragments.
to throw at that judgment.
I will expend as much money as you say. Actually, no, I'll use the supplies. Minus 200 supplies.
What are you doing, Sideline?
The vault improvements that Brendan said.
Okay.
Nick's one of the buckets back.
Yeah, he clearly wants to get past, but unfortunately, his glare does not do anything to the griffin.
Mm-hmm.
Though there is an intense staring contest with the griffin. And Forok certainly feels this as well, this intense presence. Though it's not directed at him, but you certainly feel the intense exuding from him.
A shiver runs up Jortes' spine. He's seen that look before. It's not nice.
Griffin don't give a shit.
The good old immunity.
Immune morale effects, which includes being afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, doesn't he have enough paladin levels that he's got the immunity to fear anyway from that?
He traded it, I believe he's traded it away for something else.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
He's not a pure paladin. He's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yes, please, Soraya. The Griffin isn't going to let you pass without sidelines or orders. Let's just go back inside, have a sit down, and discuss this.
I don't remember what Bunbuck does.
Preferably back in the vault, if you.
If you don't want to go back in the vault, we won't force you, and you can obviously know how to let yourself out, but it is the safest place on this ship.
Aye.
It's tempting, but I feel like
Yes, as safe as I can be on a ship full of terrorists.
If you want to look at it that way, yes.
Okay.
Of course, safe from whom? And
Safe from a variety of people.
not from you.
Yes, Thor doesn't know how to open the vault.
Actually, I'm pretty sure if any of us tried to harm you, points at the Griffin, he'd have something to say about it as well.
Aye, that's what I.
So you're pretty safe from us as well here.
Right, you want me alive?
I've told you several times, we don't mean you any harm. We just wish to educate you, if you want to put it that way.
So you're calling me uneducated now?
No.
No, we are.
There's different kinds of education. You are very smart. That much is clear from being, if nothing else, from being able to break out of the vault.
However, your education has been nitpicked.
But you are all the knowledge you have of your kingdom has been filtered through so many people and so many reports. You are not getting the full picture here. That's all we want to show you.
I have an entire kingdom to run. I can't be everywhere at once.
No, you can't. And it is good to have advisors and such, but you need to know what you need to know something about your city.
Personally.
Yes, you must know something about your city which hasn't been fed to you, so you can make your own educated decisions on these.
There is much about the city that you do not know.
I agree.
And there is much that the city doesn't know about you.
I have seen several of the reports about the what laws and permits and stuff which have been pushed through, and just from my brief time being here, we've been here a week at most now. Just my brief time here, I can see how a lot of them are hurting the people rather than helping them.
I would not hurt my people.
No, you wouldn't. But like I said, you're not getting the full picture. You're only being shown what people want you to see.
Jortes, try to convince him.
Diplomacy?
Mm-hmm.
Thorcade?
Make an attempt, yes.
The Griffin would have diplomacy. Can Griffin aid?
The Griffin automatically aids.
Yay!
Yay, I get a plus 2.
Yay.
It will aid by aura of paladin.
So close.
Unless someone has... Can the Griffin aid me as well, actually? In that case.
No, Forok will receive a passive +1 from being next to the Griffin.
Yay. So that is aid, so you have plus 4.
It's not quite an aid, but it's more just the paladin's aura of good.
Hey, I am taking it. I'm taking it and running, and that was horrible. Fortune charm, Sarah?
You didn't have it on you
No,
beforehand.
I really
Sarah's
didn't.
unfortunately.
I haven't had a chance to see her yet either to get it. So
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Sarah's
and
kinda-
Sarah's not aboard the ship,
Yeah,
so
she
I
kinda
really don't see
left.
how you can use that excuse right now.
Sorry.
Oh god, I have nothing to let me re-roll that, I believe. Oh damn it.
Well,
That does-
Proteus. He focuses his gaze not on the griffin now, but on you.
Yeah, I figured he would.
Oh my, and I do.
Thorak is going to step between them.
That won't change the gaze going through, though.
No, he kind of does it before you can step past.
It's simply very
Keeps
quick.
rolling incredibly high on that as well.
Having 2 dice helps him.
Yeah, you don't say.
Jortes.
Mm-hmm.
You are shaken for 9 minutes.
Shaken but not frightened, that's good.
Nope. Luckily, he can only frighten you on a nat 20.
Mm-hmm. In that case, Jortes he's visibly pales a bit and is definitely scared, but he's going to stand his ground and basically explain that you can glare at me all you like, but as I said earlier, this is bigger than me, bigger than my life. The city and its people are more important. You can do what you like to me afterwards, but I have made peace with what's going to likely going to happen to me. So do what you like. I'm still going to carry through with this and show you what you need to see. He's sort of trembling slightly as he's saying this.
Anything Thorak wants to do?
Really, other than he wants to sort of get a read on Saurian.
You want to get a read on Saurian? Am I sensing you're first going to check his CR?
Yes,
I am
15 or
indeed.
lower.
Is he CR 15 or lower?
The boy is not CR 15.
However, the spirit is, it fails.
The spirit might be higher than CR 15, but he doesn't have the spirit on him.
No.
41.
Jesus.
Okay, you can get a general read on him.
He's pissed at your test. Big surprise.
Okay, yes, first thing, he is pissed. I think that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to actually focus on something. Does he have any doubts about with what we've been telling him, or at least what the others have been telling him?
Like, are we getting through to him at all?
Yeah.
He currently seems fully captured in his convictions that he is, you essentially, you just tried, that you've captured him, but like you've captured him that he has no reason to work with you. Essentially, don't work with terrorists kind of thing running through his mind. He's not even really considering what you're trying to tell him properly. But there is a but to that. You kind of try to read him. Luckily for you, he's not that good at hiding his emotions.
So yeah, I'm a genius at hiding from them.
We're not talking about you, Dawn.
I am a genius.
Hiding from your emotions and hiding your emotions are 2 different things, Don.
Which one's which? Actually, you can get both of them.
Thank you, Dawn. Kind of trying to read him.
Which gives you random effects.
I'm ignoring like the anger and the I don't want to believe people who kidnapped me, because that seems pretty, in a way that's pretty reasonable. Pretty upset.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you start reading though is one, his willpower is breaking. Like, he can't, he started giving in a little bit. there's only so much he can do, though he does have a very strong
At
will
that level,
for him.
it's not the thing that matters.
For being a kid, he's got a very strong will on him.
Yeah.
And with it, though, there is something
Actually, if I could just get some water.
that seems to be unnerving him. The kind of he's shaking his confidence a little bit in it, but only a tiny bit. And that is the paladin beside you.
Yeah, you know, big holy paladin wouldn't really stand for terrorism.
Child.
But,
Sardian.
Following furthermore, though, you can certainly see, though, he has a greater fear of what's going on. That he does seem pretty convinced, though, that with essentially having a reason for everything. Oh, you want to keep him alive? Oh. Quite clearly tell. He has clearly thought up some circumstance where you'd want to keep him alive and healthy.
Sardian, you're
For your own personal
intelligent.
gains.
Sardian, your thoughts are working against you here.
I'm actually better off you doing this.
You're imagining every worst case scenario. And you've
Gee,
convinced
that sounds
yourself
like
that
someone
every
else
single one of
aboard
them
the
is.
ship.
You've convinced yourself that every single one of them has come to pass already, despite the evidence to the contrary. Standing behind you is a paladin.
He can be deceived.
Aye, but they are still beacons of truth and justice.
They're beacons of what they think are good.
Aye. And no paladin that I know of, no paladin, accepts kidnapping of this sort.
Not without
What
a
paladins
damn
do you-
good reason of
Would any
goodness.
of them condone a kidnapping? Without a very, very good reason.
You have
A reason that's better for all.
You clearly have your reasons.
Aye, we do. And our reasons are to protect you and to protect this kingdom. There is much going on, and
Maybe that's what you think, but no good can come from this.
At this point, Torrent's like coming up from onto the deck and saying, Sarian, you want to know what our reasons are? Why don't you come on down? I'll explain every single one of our reasons why we're here.
How about you explain right now?
aye, I shall actually.
Please allow me.
Doran,
Torrent is more
Torrent-
elegant at speaking.
aye, he may be more elegant. However,
Eloquent.
however, aye, you're maybe more eloquent.
Soundline will actually just come back up now, probably taking a break from that because he wants to listen.
I won't say no to it. I mean, it's just
However, Torin, you tend to dance around things.
Okay, so those
No.
I am blunt,
no.
I am to the point. Sardian,
Alright.
you are being deceived.
Literally just that.
Not by us. Just
Aye,
pointing
not
that
by
out.
us. You are being told things about your city and about your people that are not true.
No.
You have been. They have attempted to convince. They have tried to convince you, but your own intelligence fights against that. You're smart. You know what's truth, and you know what's lies. But sometimes even that can slip past. Even that can be slipped past. They have told you to fear foreigners. They have told you to hate things. You have passed laws and things that, from your point and from everything that they've told you, can only do good. But that's simply not true.
Yes, you've been passing laws to oppress and suppress evil. However, looking more closely at the laws, they're more widely applicable to many, many people than just the wrongdoers. And they are being used for such.
That's the idea.
You are not creating a utopia. You're creating a dictatorship. You're creating a tyranny.
This isn't the great city that it once was. I remember that city. It was great. Had to blow it up a bit, but it was pretty good.
Technically, you failed at blowing it up.
Exactly.
That's how good it was.
It was a place of equality and freedom. This isn't that anymore.
I am not a tyrant.
No,
you are not.
you are not. You are being deceived and used. We
You are
fully
being made to
believe-
be a tyrant.
No,
People don't.
no, he
even-
isn't. What is going on here is that you are making uninformed decisions manipulated by those around you. We fully believe that once you completely understand your people, once you understand that your people are at heart, for the most part, good people, you will be able to make the right decisions for them.
And then you can go free.
Another thing, sorry, but I don't think you know. Your people don't know you. They have never seen your face.
It's true. We could basically
could-
walk up to anybody in the street and they would not recognize you.
We could send a guard directly to you. We could send you directly to a guard station. And they
We
would
could
not
send you up
recognize
to the palace. They wouldn't recognize you.
Not even your own guards know who you are.
Hi, Krampus.
You're being kept away from your people for a reason.
You think you're a captive here? You are much more captive up there.
Yes, admittedly,
weren't just-
this cage is less gilded, but it is still more liberating for you.
I think my vault's very fancy.
Sideline, I have
I
seen
said
the
less
palace.
gilded.
I
not-
have seen the palace. It puts the vault to shame.
That makes me sad. I need to work on it.
Admittedly, I don't think the palace has gold dragon eggs, but
No, but it is made of gold. Every wall and pillar and everything is encased in gold and emeralds and rubies.
I need to
It's
fix my
quite
what
amazing.
purpose?
Just to
Why
be
would you
fancy,
need
I
that
guess.
much gold? Why would you ever use that much gold in construction?
Tell
Because
me,
it's
Sardian.
fancy.
Already got the tonsils swallowed up.
Before this kidnapping, have you ever left the palace? Have you ever walked the streets of your city? Have you ever even been on a parade among them? Have you ever spoken with your guards? Have you ever spoken with your captains? Have you spoken with your merchants and your advisors? Have you spoken with anyone more than the council itself? And even then, have you spoken with the lower members of the council?
That would be really useful.
Thorok,
Aye.
how good are you at social?
Well,
Everybody aid.
However,
I can't fail to aid.
Neither can I.
However, due to what you're saying, I'm going to let you have a small bonus to this. Use your wisdom instead.
Oh, that's more than a small bonus, Dark, but I will accept that.
You're in a better situation.
It's like, I went from a -3 to a +5.
+4, but yeah, basically. Oh boy, big.
So you get a +2 from me and Torin each, because we're both
Okay,
aiding.
good. Sideline, can you aid me in this?
And does Gryffindor aid?
Griffin
Leave
will
three
aid.
from Griffin.
Okay, aided. So that's +6. Sideline, there's a difference between +6 and +8.
If it's envy or something.
Go, Sideline, go.
I don't aid.
Oh.
No.
You
okay.
fucking disappoint me.
Can Snips Jr. aid?
He's not with us.
No,
The
not Mr.
Scorpions-
Snips, Snips Jr.
Well, it does remind me, actually, I do need to roll for the Scorpions' own checks.
Oh god, why did I remind you?
Question, is the Sun Spirit aiding us?
Ooh.
Can't
Actually,
cut him off from it.
question.
And yeah, we did kind of cut off the Sun Spirit from him.
We didn't.
Well, no,
Is-
but he is cut off from it. Regardless of who did it, he
That's
is cut
true,
off
yeah.
from it.
Oh, I'm gonna. You know what? Screw it. I can't aid, but I can do this.
That
I don't want to do it. It's going to be a huge burn for this, but I will.
If it's a huge burn, I'd say maybe
I was
not.
going to cast bestow. I was going to cast bestow insight on Thorok, so he gets 2 rolls.
that would be nice.
I'm going to do that. Fuck it. I just won't have visualization in
Yeah.
mind for the rest
Also,
of the day.
also the bonus from bestow insight as well. That's an extra +4, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep, +4 and 2 rolls.
All right then. All right.
Jesus.
So this is this, and I get roll this twice and take the better. Boop, boop.
That
Great.
was the best
And
Lazarus
second one,
we've had in a while.
25.
Ugh, jeez.
How does it feel to be good at diplomacy?
I've been good at diplomacy before.
Rolled one over there.
Not in a while, you haven't.
No, that's not true, actually.
He only really gets it in some instances where you kind of need these strong arguments before it to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Thorok probably enters a small bit of a staring contest for a short time.
I do not back down, Sardian. I do not lie.
It's true, he's terrible at lying.
Speaking of truth and dwarfy justice.
Even if I wish
What
to.
is your sense motive bonus out of curiosity, Thorok?
+24 against Sarian specifically. It's +24.
+24.
Yes.
Dark,
can he intimidate me?
without any of his stuff on him because he's been completely disarmed? No. If he wasn't magically bound or had his crown back, he could. But right now, considering I think he's taking -7 penalty or something to his check, he can't pull it off.
You know what? Actually, Thorok is going to say one last thing as well. You are not the only one who comes from the position of a king. Sorry. I have sat by my father. Know how this works.
So, I got an achievement off Darkest Dungeon for killing one of the new enemies with a jester.
And as I said, I do not lie.
There's 4 new enemies that spawn on champion levels. There's one for each area. There's the Bone Bannerman, which basically just does huge damage buffs for every other
You
enemy
claim.
fighting. There's the Swine Skyver, which throws huge
An
numbers
ignorant
of
shut-in
spears.
in my own palace, not knowing of Night's Held World.
Yeah. There's the Hateful Virago, which is
I
hack
do.
who also- sorry, like an Uber.
Because a foolish pride to believe otherwise in the face of evidence like this will damn your kingdom.
Will make fungus that stops you from healing. And then there's the Squiffy Ghast. Squiffy Ghast.
I am
is
no
like
fool.
Aye, you are not, but you are ignorant, and we wish to rectify that. But we cannot do that without you aiding us in it.
We do not believe you a fool. We merely believe you misinformed.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Wrong analogy for the situation, Sideline.
Thorok can certainly tell something because of how good he is at reading him.
Mm-hmm.
Thorok here putting such a challenge up to him, especially to calling kind of the idea of calling him ignorant or similar, has really struck a nerve down him.
Calling him out on this.
More notably also the fact that a challenge against the pride he's had kind of brought into him is really annoying him right now.
Mm-hmm. Good, Sardian. Channel that anger. Use it for a constructive means to help your country, help your city.
God, this is micromanaging the game.
Be the ruler that they need and want.
Tried a little ultra greedier, but wasn't able to quite make it with Lilith, just because my micro isn't good enough.
There is a pause for a time
Still not
more.
gonna be able to make it past the floor in ultra greedier.
his gaze upon you of clearly he wanted to intimidate you, and by the way, he would have frightened Jortes with my secret roll I made. But luckily it wasn't directed at Jortes.
Yeah, as soon as he's still kind of shaken at the moment.
I just resisted a nat 20 from an intimidating master.
Thoric might feel slightly unnerved, but it's not enough that Thoric needs to flinch at all.
No. Thoric has learned to resist these stern gazes.
Though even Thoric has to admit it was close. It was close.
It was close, yes. But I will hold.
To be precise, he rolled 2 below what he needed to. If he had any of his bonuses back, he would be able to.
Ah, that's great.
But then we'll lead over to Jortes. I like this kid.
He's something alright.
Thoric?
You stand before me, Sarayan Telsay, Sun King, ruler of this land, and heir not only to Rakir the Red, but also Devirin Sao, the Golden Princess. The 2 dragons of flame, and you dare to challenge. You dare challenge me to be a fool and ignorant.
Also, I downloaded some.
If you believe you are not, then how about prove it? Give us a few days, a week, see the city with us, and if by the end of the week you are still convinced that everything we have said is a lie, everything we have said is a lie, I will come up to the palace with you and you can hand me in.
Aye. Accept our challenge if you think you can beat it.
However, that's just made
Prove us wrong.
Okay, so in the meantime, I'm not.
Overconfidence.
Until then, I will not.
Overconfidence is unbecoming of you, Your Majesty.
Aye. And until you complete this challenge, I will stand before you. I will not bow my head until you are worthy of it.
Universe.
Really want to say snarky comment. Something about praying Thoric doesn't, because then the sun just glances off his head really brightly.
Trying to be cool here.
Torrent, standing at a large distance from all this, would once again feel his holy symbol burning.
Torrent just smiles.
You will, in time, bow your head and apologize for these words. Accept your challenge.
Then I pray that you prove that you do so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I could hunt for the.
I know a nice baking joint nearby. Get pastries.
Well, sideline. Oh my. Thorg just sort of sighs a little bit.
So good news for everyone else. Your relationships with everyone else has moved from hostile to unfriendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Fox, if there was a setting below a hostile, it has now reached there.
Good. Good, because you know what? Thorok's going to make him use that. He's going to make him use that to prove him wrong.
Did you just pull a Palpatine?
Perhaps I might have.
Unfortunately, as Dr. Judge like to say, dizzying. I can't remember the full quote now.
What was it? I immediately forgot it too. God damn it!
Oh god.
I remember
Something
overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
It's like
No,
surreptitious pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
not that one.
Yeah. Gotta look that up.
Beware, triumphant pride precipitates dizzying fall.
That's it, yeah.
Perhaps I should get you some better
That's
clothes.
basically what's being played against him here. He is prideful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Thorok knows pride.
And admittedly,
I'll be right back. We can go get pastries soon. I want to go get you some new clothes so you can stop wearing that gestures.
Next.
Sideline.
Yeah.
Would you take Elliot with you? He has an eye for these things.
That I was actually going to do that. You think I could actually make a proper matching outfit? Are you insane?
I would expect you to try.
I am trying.
I
You're
mean,
very
try
trying.
without the help necessary. Unlike the child here, you are a damn fool.
At times. I'm working on it. It's in my programming.
Yes,
I can't change who I am.
At least you're making efforts and getting better.
Funny enough, the person who was actually mechanically also the best to convince him also happened to be the person who was worst
Most
social.
intimidated? Yep. Yay!
Because by the fact that you couldn't be intimidated by him means you could stand up to him enough to try it.
And you know what's even better about that?
Other one would have done it with Sideline, but he's not willing to push those buttons.
But the thing is, he can't force you to bow with intimidate.
Torin was probably the second best choice in that regard, considering I have +6 versus fear right now on top of everything else.
Yeah, but even with
Even
that,
then,
he could have forced you to bow still.
I needed a +24 sense motive in order to stand firm against him.
Oh, give him a thank you. Oh, that's not. You know what? I'm happy with that.
It really helps that this is basically the lesson his master, Thorok's master, gave him whenever he first joined.
The kid is frightening, and by the fact originally he said he comes from 2 different of the most powerful dragon bloodlines, and then the Sun King. Yeah, that's a thing.
I think I know why my eggs woke up.
Probably, yeah.
Having the blood of what Sideline would recognize the name of the Golden Princess. She was a Great Worm Gold Dragon.
Interesting. When did she disappear? Or has she?
She, no one actually knows what happened to her.
Is that so?
She turned into eggs.
Appearances about her stopped maybe 500 years ago.
500, you say?
But, I mean, it's not impossible for dragons just to disappear for that long.
No, it's not. But, no, never mind. That's something for me to think of later.
Also coming down from the red, from a Great Worm red as well.
Oh, pride was going to come to this kid no matter what. Pride and wrath.
More pride than wrath, but the wrath is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, add on a dose of royalty, and what else do you get?
Adding a dose of royalty as well as a pampered royal. A pampered royal who's been fed lies that everything that he's done has been helping his people. If it was all true, he would have a reason to have that pride, but he hasn't. And so it needs to break that pillar under him.
Yeah, he is fully believing that everything he's done has been in the best interest of his people. And I mean, he has done some incredible things, also some incredible architecture around the city.
Oh yeah, that stuff's probably fun.
He obviously hasn't just sat around and done nothing like most pampered nobles. He's actually tried to do stuff.
Yeah, which is nice.
Right.
It shows that he actually wants to. He actually does have the best for his people at heart, which is.
I mean, Thorok and the Dragon.
Way of thinking.
Both Thorok and the Dragon can certainly agree. Like, the kid's got a good nature to him, even if he is prideful.
I'm not feeling Lilith right now.
As Sideline walks past Torin, it's like he's gonna ask, "Okay, we got him to this point. Now what? I don't know. I didn't plan past this."
Now he is just our guest, Sideline.
Now we have something to eat, rest a bit, and show him around the city.
Okay,
Like
pastries
we
it is.
promised.
However, I still say we need to set up a room in the vault for him.
Oh, of course. I mean, that is our safest location, and well, yeah.
Don't eat pizzas here when
If he is alright.
And frankly, I won't lie. There is a bit of a selfish reason behind that. That your aura seems to be really, really good for the eggs that are in that room.
That's actually very good to know.
Because magic.
Speaking of which, sideline, I would like to go over some things in the book that you gave me with you.
Also, I made
Yes, of course.
As happens with your thing.
Hopefully, that book will start actually meaning stuff now that the eggs are awakened.
I hope so.
Wait, the eggs are awake?
More or less, yes.
They
Why didn't
started
you tell me?
pulsing magic stuff.
Didn't think it was important at the time. I think you're more preoccupied with what's currently going on. I don't need you to worry about multiple things.
Sideline, I am the medical officer aboard. Why didn't you tell me?
It was literally today. I was going to get there. Things happened.
You know, it's not even breakfast time yet, and all of this has happened, so cut him some slack.
Actually, yes, that's very true, and I don't think I've actually eaten.
You haven't.
Right, everybody come aboard. I'll make you
You're
food.
already aboard.
I mean inside.
Below deck?
Yes.
Sideline, you're trying my patience.
The dark one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm doing another Judas roll.
How about
Sorry
we
for
all
the connecting dinner.
Tricky but fun.
So, what does the group wish to do now that you've kind of got him?
Breakfast.
You know,
Breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast, I think.
out of character. Making amends with him at some point is probably a good idea, but you know.
Don't worry, Thork is going to. He fully intends to show him the respect he deserves when he deserves it. Thork is challenging him, and he wants him to overcome this. I think it's time for Thork to become a teacher. As his master
Thork has a lot of wisdom.
You've
He would
been,
make
you've
a
been
very
like a
good
teacher of entire campaign.
I've been trying, but I haven't had a direct pupil. A direct pupil to teach the...
Well, I mean, you've been kind of teaching Torrin and Rylan things, and and Alex.
Yeah, but I've never been directly involved with you all on that.
No. Admittedly, a direct involvement probably would have been good for Torrin, but oh well.
Yeah, Shrine will go back into the ship and just start marching around exploring the entire thing.
Shall I come with you to explain?
Your test
Or do you wish
is
to
going
by
as
yourself?
well to explain.
And Thork
I
is
thought-
going to want...
I thought you were going to buy stuff at the sideline.
Yeah, you're off buying things.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Pastries. I'll go get those.
Yes.
Then Thork and Jortes will go with him.
Just until
All right.
breakfast is ready.
Torrin's going to give you the key to his room if you want to show him the alchemist lab.
I've got you.
Well, technically, it's not his room; it's the alchemist lab key. Whatever. They're adjacent.
Fine.
But I'm not allowed in there, so it might as well be his room.
Wow. Just, no.
Don't worry, Alex.
You're not allowed in without supervision. There's a difference.
Come on, I do amazing work in there.
Yes, under supervision.
Even without supervision, I haven't blown it up that much.
What did you do to my lab?
Nothing recent.
God damn it.
I fixed it before you found out.
Do you see why I don't let you in my lab?
Come on, I got it
Let's see how
all
it's a
fixed.
problem. It's already fixed.
You didn't even know anything had happened before I mentioned it.
By the way, I will let you. You can also identify at least one feat of his.
Mhm.
Iron will.
Of course.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No, actually, if that's the case, I feel like he might have his familiar not from a class feature. But I digress.
No, we're all
Mr.
listening
Snips
quite
to
a lot.
Snips Jr.
It's not digression if we're all listening and paying attention.
I guess.
Yeah, it's a rather. It explains how the kid was able to be so stubborn for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Sarah.
Actually, I don't know for sure, but he might actually have the second highest will on the ship.
Probably.
All right then.
Certainly
I don't know.
out of the
I don't know
PCs.
what everyone's will say his bonus is, but he's got a pretty high one.
+5, before miscellaneous bonuses.
Not enough.
+9.
I have a +12, I believe.
I kind of expect that. Side.
Yeah, no, I will.
+4.
Will +12.
He's tied second place with Forok.
Yeah, I have +4. My will is just abysmal.
Yeah. Sideline's a robot. Things don't really affect him.
And mostly, also potentially to Forok's surprise though, because you have the ability to identify this. You also identify he actually has some bad behind him.
Oh,
Not surprising.
so
He wouldn't be a pusher.
Right then.
Walks and moves with a slight amount, just a knowing of kind of a good understanding of his body enough to actually have some combat training.
So there's a lot of potential in him.
Don't turn him into a monk.
I'm not. However, I'm giving him a very important lesson that Thorak learned.
Yes, so he will certainly wander the ship though and look around. Mostly relying on his own observation, but occasionally he will ask. Though he'll ask Torin.
Was he asking me?
Mostly as he kind of wandering around. Most of the time he's relying on his own kind of senses, but occasionally like he'll ask you when he doesn't know what something is on the ship. He's specifically asking Torin and not Fork.
Or Jortas.
I expect that. Thorak isn't really talking to him either. He's watching him. With a very deliberate, stern gaze.
Really, I can imagine like when dinner eventually comes around, the two of them on opposite sides of the table, and there's just, if it could, the sparks between their gazes would ignite the room.
I imagine Torn probably makes a joke along the lines of, the red hot glares you're giving each other is overcooking the food. Stop it.
He looks at Torin with a. You can't tell if it's a. You can't. It's really hard to tell if he's used by it or is he just trying to not, or is he annoyed by it? It's just trying to hide it.
Dark, what I know.
Mostly, he's somewhat amused by that. But he's not trying to show it. Turns out, though, his bluff is nowhere near high enough for your sense motive. Not that much of a liar.
Please tell me I'm like this kid's exact counter.
You basically are.
Good.
Everyone has a negative, a reverse, and yours just so happens to be a king. Who we kidnapped.
Oh, wonderful things like that. Wonderful coincidences.
Yes, the A will go. Sideline and Elliot, I suppose, will come back with something bought to be appropriate from Elliot's funding of. Here's a whole. Elliot knows the right places to go to get noble style outfits. Clothes shopping is something he does a surprisingly large amount.
Yay.
It just comes
Trust me,
back
I
and
know.
it's just, there you go, an entire wardrobe. Take your
and
pick.
also Elliot is. Elliot was
Also, we had to buy a carriage to carry the wardrobe.
and it's also pretty good at was also pretty good at judging size, like what the correct size to get. So that's good.
Mhm.
So eventually be presented back, and he'll take it,
Although, does that also make you immune to other explosions?
nodding slightly without the harsh look at Elliot. Go to change peasant's gear. Elliot's had that since level 1, so before he was a spellcaster, he had that. There we go. Yes. What is there anything particular the group would like to do now? Either later this day or perhaps the next day, or
Are we taking him into the city today, or are we letting him rest overnight?
No.
Not today. Let him
He is
have a day
frazzled.
to cool down.
Yes.
Right. That's fine. I was thinking kind of the same as well, but I also thinking, we have a week and there's a lot of city.
True.
Yeah. Well. Oh well.
Oh, crap, yeah. Dark, question. How long do we have to a year's end?
year's end, 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, oh, great. Yep.
That means there's basically a month until Jortes' birthday again.
And we can't split because...
What you're saying is, it's a very bad idea to split.
We really
Yeah,
could
it
split.
is. It's a very, very bad idea, though.
I
Because
think
that mountain is not good for any of us.
Oh, for the mountain, yeah.
Yeah, we have.
I thought
Yeah,
it meant
remember
for,
we
like,
have
stuff around town.
No. We still have to get to the mountain before this 2 weeks is up.
Yeah. So what, like a day and a half, 2 days to get to the mountain by
No, it's
air?
more than that.
No, I'm completely misremembering. I know I am, but I can't be bothered to try and remember.
How much was it?
Maybe good 5-6 days.
Yeah.
Basically,
We could get there in 4.
If we overcharge the engines a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we have.
We can always overclock. Even if it's already overclocked, we can still overclock.
It's rare to not pay.
And then go and do this.
I mean, if you guys wanted to head to the mountain, Jortis can stay in the chateau with the kid. He's mostly not hating them right now.
No.
I'm not saying right now.
If we have to fail a quest to complete the kings, so be it.
Definitely the king is priority.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it gets near to the end of the week and everyone gets all antsy and wanting to go, it's an option.
There is an option, but we just send one person to the mountain.
That's a suicide mission.
Yeah, that would be a.
Depends how we go about it.
We can send
That would be a super stealth mission, and you need a very good infiltrator for that.
Why me?
Just dump all the extracts on it.
And they would have to keep themselves hidden for at least a day once they get up there, if they get up there.
Mm-hmm. And keep the Dreamcatcher thing, whatever it was, hidden and active, and yeah. It's not as simple as just going up there and hiding. Yeah.
You're forgetting other things as well. We don't. Okay, well, we can't really ask for help with the king stuff. We can ask for help with the Suncatcher stuff.
That is
we
true.
We do have a favor of Hecate.
We could just hire an adventuring party to do it.
Not
for
only
us.
do we have a favor for Hecate, guess who I have a favor of? The fucking circus! I have 2 of those!
Yeah, crap, they do very well with that.
I technically have family I can call them.
We could just have Renan fly part of the circus. That would be an interesting use of favors, yeah?
Yeah, get Hecate and everything, just
go, there you go, nuke a mountain.
Well, we don't want the nuke to mount. We just want her to.
Yeah, no, I'm
keep
sure.
these-
I'm sure we can just explain our situation and what we're trying to accomplish there, and they'll accomplish it readily. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a favor with a merchant to get them the supply to help them get the supplies they need more quickly.
I have a minor favor with some nobility.
Yeah.
Oh, we got.
Well, the problem is we need the ship for the king.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. How many favors do we have in total? 1 from Big B, 2 from me, 1 from Tinder.
Wait, where?
Yep.
One from me,
Where's my
not
favor
Tinder.
coming from?
Tinder has a.
And we got BOGO bombs from.
It's either a favor with minor nobles or a minor favor with nobles. I forget which way round it was.
Yeah, what favors do I have? I've went and hired people. I don't have favors.
You need to hire people.
The stars, so that's nice for the next. And I think that's all I need to do here.
Undisclosed amount of family favors.
I mean, it is true. She can.
Do it till I get the lockout trade.
You could, of course, you could try to say, hey, we have this that needs done and we need it done, like, quickly. Could you do this for us?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
I think that might be a good option for the mountain thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I kind
that's,
of don't want to end up getting half the circus killed doing it, but I don't think we'd have
No,
time
Look,
ourselves.
look, we're going to give them all of the information we can about it, and I have a merchant favor to help them get the supplies they need
And also,
more
thing
quickly.
you can do, Torin, is it would suck for the time that they would be gone, but you could give them all of your extract or something like that.
That would be it for like a single day, though.
They've got their own alchemists as well.
Yeah, it would
Wouldn't be
also
prepared.
really cripple Torin for literally the entire time they're gone.
Yeah,
or, well, half the
exactly.
time. Which
Yes,
I
that
don't
would
think
be
that's a good
really
idea.
Big boon.
I still don't
No.
think that's a good idea, though.
The bigger thing, though, here is, if you want to do this, how many favors are you willing to spend on it?
I think
Yes.
the Hecate favor might also be really good here.
Yeah, probably. Having the heavy artillery of Hecate, or, well, at least lending her the snow dragon.
Won't,
Yeah.
Snow dragon in a desert.
won't be able to use both Hecate and the circus.
With my micro, I mean,
Oh, we won't?
run into.
Well, I think we'd use the circus because the problem with Hecate is
I would rather use the circus because Hecate is
Yeah.
likely to just blast her way all the way up to the top of the mountain. Just go,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
you're banished, you're banished, you're banished. Okay, we're done here. I'm out.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Meanwhile, the circus is much more likely to, pick and choose, and discriminate which targets they shoot.
It did say the salamanders, I believe, occasionally traded with people, so that
Yes,
might
they
work
do,
in the caravan in the circus's favor.
They could just dance their way up the mountain and just entertain everybody on the way up.
Exactly.
Everybody
Possible,
conga.
yes.
So are you spending a favor, 2 favors, 3 favors? What are you doing?
I have 2 favors with the circus, but I don't know if anyone else does.
I do not want the circus.
I don't have any explicit favors, but I might be able to talk to Castor.
I don't have an explicit favor with the circus. However, I have a favor with the merchants that I can use to help them supply faster and possibly at a discount.
That's acceptable.
Also, if they need... Oh, wait, no, I don't have funding because I need to pay Torin's debt.
But this, it's acceptable. You could basically do 3 favors and tell them, hey, go do this.
Yeah, but I don't feel comfortable with only 3.
Favors are big deals. I mean,
They are, yes. I don't feel comfortable with only 3. If someone could muster up something else, that would be really good. 4, I'd be okay with.
I think the only other favor, straight up favor we have, not including Sarah's weird family business, is mine with minor high society. Or
No, you
a
have
minor favor with high society.
More besides, actually, you have a minor favor with the nobility.
Yes, that
Not with
one.
not in the nobility.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know how we could apply that to this situation, and it is only minor, so I don't know how much of an effect it would have.
Very weak favor with them.
Yes.
I hope we can get past the
Just
gates.
have been like supplies or
They
animals
have,
too
the
going.
circus doesn't have any issue getting past gates. They've done it enough.
I think we're gonna have to make do with the 3 favors for that then.
Mm-hmm.
If they need anything, feel free to ask. And Is there anything else anyone can chime in with?
Like I said, the only favor I have is the one from my clan, which doesn't reach this far.
In which case, they will set up a team to do this for you.
Yeah.
It sucks that we can't do this ourselves, but
Oh, that sucks. I could do that. I have
Depends what that is.
640 GP worth of gunpowder supplies.
We don't want to blow up the mountain. Although, they could fire someone out of a cannon straight up to the top of the mountain.
As they fly past, put the little medallion on it, and they land on the other side in a net. And then they fire it back over, pick it up, and all land on the other side of the net.
oh dear.
What else can I give?
I mean, I can give them 3 potions of cure serious wounds, but that's about the last
They
I...
don't need that, they say.
Yeah, I think this is really all we can do.
I mean, if they'll take it, I can offer harrowings.
If they could get those themselves if they wanted them.
I know, but I have a spell
Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of the stuff we could provide them resource-wise, they can already provide themselves.
Yeah.
Quite easily. What we needed to provide is
Information.
information and not like physical objects being the favors.
Which Tharg has been working on, actually, so he can offer literally every bit of information he's come up with,
So
including the
can your
specifics if they want to know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So can your
Basically, transfer that power over to them.
You certainly provide them information.
Suddenly, first room's worth it.
Yeah. Oh, diamonds.
Which they'll tell you they'll send out a venturing party of their own to deal with it.
Thank you.
They'll send out a party they think is appropriate for dealing with this situation.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Sorry for
Yay.
dumping it on you, but thank you.
We have
We
slightly...
have much bigger problems to deal with at the moment.
In their case, they're setting out a very arcane-heavy party, but that's fine.
That's fair, honestly. The best way to fight elementals is to become immune to elemental.
They have
banishments.
they have their own slightly different situation they're going with, but you know,
Does the dragon go with them?
the dragon is not going.
Oh, the Voltamine won't go with the circus?
Voldemine's protecting the king.
Okay, that makes sense. Fair enough.
I love bombs, especially smiling ones.
In case you're curious, by the way, you get to know what if you want, you can know what party they're sending.
Yeah, sure.
They have devised a strategy, and it involves this is the party.
Yes.
Wait, where is it?
I see.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I wasn't right, we're not sending out
Of
a tiny
course,
elemental
Castor.
family.
2 summoners, an acrobat, a fire dancer, caster, and whatever Tarnax was.
Arrowbat.
Shadowblade. There we go.
Oh, Shadowblade. Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow Dancer. They've got a decent amount of, stealth.
I'm sure that's the point.
Yep, it's a case of try not to be seen, but if we get seen, level the place.
They also have a partial social approach they might be planning to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the summoners.
Nice.
And the fact they have people who are resistant to fire on the mission.
Do they want Sarah's impromptu to say hello and they can...
Multiple of them can speak.
Here's no fun. Why are they so competent?
Not all of them.
Because they're
some of
not
them.
us.
I mean, you know,
They're competent.
you have to remember they chose this group inexplicitly for this mission, right?
Yeah, they just have a lot more options than we do at any given point.
You're always stuck with the same 5 people. They kind of get to mix and match their parties.
God, we are the peanut gallery.
Because whenever they set up, they always send out a 5-group party to go do it. In this case, it's 6 because these 2 always go together.
Mm-hmm.
Secretly,
They're
we're the
one
same
party.
person.
Yeah, they're basically one unit because they won't be separated. So
They're so small they count as one.
Still, though, they will send out a thing, and you will get a report whenever they're back, or they don't return. Whatever happens.
Oh,
Well, like,
I hope
kinda
they
hope
return.
they returned. Yeah.
Dark. I know this is kind of pointless doing this, but just a quick augury. Could I check our chances at this current instance of time?
Doesn't augury only should go 24 hours into the future?
It only goes half an hour, but at this very moment of time, however chance is looking.
That wouldn't be an augury, is the problem.
Oh no, it says... Oh, actually...
Yeah, because the problem is, within half an hour, they won't be doing anything.
I know that
so-
point, but I know that, but I mean, as like, at this very, very minute, how well is our chances looking? Like, within the next 30 minutes, I guess.
Flip a
No,
coin
it's-
and
it's-
see what it says, because that's basically all you'll get.
Basically, it will just respond nothing.
Damn it. I put my magic 8 ball away.
Answer unclear. Try again later.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Wow, it's totally gosh. I haven't grabbed the item from this part. I'm going to
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
So, the question now is, how exactly does the group want to proceed with that given out?
I'll just say heads up. I've got about 20 minutes before I have to go.
That's fine. We can wrap up soon. But yeah, the question becomes essentially, what does the group's exact approach want to be? Do you guys want to essentially like, if you guys want, you could take.
From the sound of it, it sounds like we mostly want to like go around socializing, kind of just going around town, taking parts in
Show him the
things.
various parts of the city,
This guy's a little prim at the moment, which is
initially at least.
That's a good color.
Okay. In which case, what we will do then is essentially, I think we'll take a special version of downtime here for this until something happens.
I'm
Which
sorry.
I inform you something happens will be 4 days.
Cool.
Well, technically after 4 days, so day 5 of downtime. Something would happen. But, so yeah, we're only getting 4 days there. In these 4 days, I suppose if the group wants to take Sarayan around to examine the city or try to convince them, each of you are feel free to basically tell me what your idea is. Like, we're going to explore this part of the city with them.
Yeah, Jortes has a couple of ideas where he'd like to take him. But I did think, at least for someone more academically inclined or scribey, it might be a good idea to take him to the records office and show him, what permits and stuff has recently been put through and possibly some statistics on what's happened after that. Show him some hard evidence of what the rules he's put through have actually done, rather than just going, oh look, there's that old lady who's apparently dying. I don't know why she's dying, but she's dying.
So essentially, as a group, though, think up how you want to approach the situation, each of you. And each of you can present something. Thorg as well, you can present something. Hey.
I have an idea that I've been working on for a little while.
As I said, you basically send it to me as the kind of downtime thing.
Jortes is going to take him to the lower areas.
I was going to take him to some of the harder fought merchants guild, people who do really good work, but are having problems.
The ones that have to do the merchants that are really good artisans but aren't getting money because they can't meet the regulations.
Yep.
Yeah, feel free to present different ideas for how you want to try and approach him. Otherwise, also anything else you try to do to kind of change his mind. As I said, something will happen in 4 days' time, but I can't tell you what.
You know what? How does everyone feel about Thorok acting as sort of a test each day for him? Where he comes back and he he comes back and he has to give a report to Thorok about the city.
I mean, if that's something Thorok wants to set up, he can do.
Well, yeah, that
It's
sounds
not
like it's just
initially
kind
about-
of
That sounds like a
part of
very Thorok-y thing to do.
Exactly.
And just have like a day trip with each of the other one of us. Like one day with Sideline, Jortes, Torin, and Sarah. And then Thorok will be the sort of home base, do a little test on him. And I also think we should go from good to worse, going in progression. Like someone takes a really good day, goes sees very nice, lavish districts, a very fancy sort of time, and someone then slowly goes downhill from there.
So I'm hearing
I can say
going
Torin's
last.
plan would take place in something of a middle ground in that scale. Sideline.
So, yeah, okay. Now mine would be. Sarah, do you want to take him somewhere fancy?
Eh.
I mean, let's do some other idea. I'm happy to take him somewhere like fancy, like the main Clockwork Guild.
I mean, I was planning on taking advantage of my cousins, because they kind of live in a poor area, so they know it.
Oh, okay, definitely.
And he
do
knows
that.
better.
So Torin, I'll go with a very nice place, a very prosperous mercantile area. I'll do
But
that.
but they're still in hard times because the regulations are
They are
throttling
still-
them.
I will show him that, but it's sort of I'll show him a very prosperous, very productive section of town, but have been getting hit hard slightly. But they're coping. While
They're being
Sarah
held
or
back.
Jortas, one of those two,
And of
yeah,
course,
they're being held back.
and of
While
course
Sarah
if
and Jortas, you can show up with something terrible. Like, go ahead. I don't care.
if any of you also have any other ideas of ways you want to try and basically, try to either break down his pride or something else.
Yeah. I do like the idea of showing him the actual statistical effects his stuff has done, but it's not something Jortes would do. He's very much not a bookie person.
Perfect. Perfect. Do it.
Do what you think you should do. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Then,
Thor
actually,
will,
tell us what you think you're going to do it, and we can sort of think about what day it would happen on.
That's the problem. It is something I think should happen, but it's not something I would do.
We could talk about it as a group. I mean, we are talking about it as a group without him here. We could just have a group meeting and say, "Hey, we should do this."
That's basically what I'm doing. I'm throwing that idea out, but it's not something I will do myself.
All right. So, what do you plan on doing, Jortas?
Oh, as I said, take him down to the lower areas, keep him out of the gang territory, because
plan.
there's some down there. I met some people the other day down there. I might try to contact them again, get them to tell him about what it's like down there.
Sure.
And just generally
It would be awesome, but we have 2 level up.
see what a shithole I can find to show him.
We'll send you on the last day. Sarah, you can go like the
Second to last.
second to last.
Third.
Third.
When you get hit, and it's a really annoying chance. I've had games where Gimpy has never paid.
I'll go take him to the fancy mercantile places
Why I
and show them the hardships that they're currently experiencing with the regulations. Thorok's sort of there. I don't know. Why can I still move you?
Because
I don't know.
the permissions were never taken away, because Bigby wasn't here
Oh,
one
yeah.
day and we needed roles from Thor,
Yeah,
so we all
right,
got
right.
given permissions.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Okay, this is good.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can come up with various ideas for this, though.
Why did you yell at that? You could have waited.
Yes,
till
today
the
was
chaos.
today was a very social session that could have gone a very different way. Very
Yes. It could have gone a lot worse, and it could have possibly gone better.
I like the way it went.
I would have put. Should I put forth the idea of getting rid of his bracer at a certain point?
No,
I'd rather not be incinerated, thank you.
exactly.
Yeah, no.
I don't like
As much as it would be great.
As much as I don't like the idea of it being on there, we do
It's a necessity.
kind of need it at the moment. Otherwise, he will become a great shining beacon of sunniness.
He would also likely kill Thorok. Or
And
attempt to.
yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't instantaneously become a beacon of sunshine, but
No. But once he realizes he has that power, so he probably isn't going to be too happy with Thorok about it.
Yeah. Plus, I don't really like the idea of shooting his arm. Even if it is with just a spell rather than an actual bullet, still don't really like the idea of it.
shooting the bracelet, not the arm.
The bracelet is attached to the arm. The bullet goes through the bracer, through the arm, through the bracer again, and then leaves.
It's not firing a bullet, though. He's firing anti-magic.
Same
Yeah.
principle. Still don't like it.
There is, of course, the other side of it, which is he is not anywhere near as good at defending himself right now. As well.
No.
Mm.
Which
Yeah.
is why at least one of us will be with him at all times. At least all times we're not on the ship. And imagine all the time he's on the ship, he's got a Griffin bot following him.
And Thorok. Thorok doesn't plan to really leave the ship in this time.
I mean, he's going to sternly request he give him some privacy at times.
That's fine. Thorok
Yeah,
will give him
that's
privacy in a
No
way.
issue with that. Don't stand in the corner of his room
Well,
staring
Thorok
at him
will-
as he sleeps. That's just
Thorok will
creepy.
There's going to be a door between us at most.
I believe that's right, so something like that.
Yes, I believe so. And actually, yeah, 4 days is actually perfect for you guys going out. Each of you taking
Yes.
some rounds.
Yes, it is.
Oh, good.
Be careful, though.
Oh, of course.
This is dangerous. Even though it's downtime, it's still danger of it evolved.
Oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
hugely dangerous. I'm expecting Jortes to die again.
Anyway, there's an interesting session. Beware, there may be more in the way of danger next session, though, in actual combat style.
Yep.
That's fine. That's perfect.
Well, Escalon found us.
Sadly, we'll finally be able to use the elemental commixture.
Yay!
Death might also get back to the wall.
That would be nice.
So far, you've only used it on rats.
Yeah, and that wasn't actually in like combat. It was just roll a d6 and see how many you kill. Or was it a d8? It was something like that. I killed 6, so I remember that much.